Sing in me, muse, and through me tell the story of those people skilled in all ways of contending, the Dragonlords, harried by fate and privacy. Prophecy. Sing of the cities they saw, of the minds they learned of distant people, and weathering many bitter nights and days steep in their hearts, while they fought to save their homes and the lives of all they loved. Of those adventurers, muse, most sacred of daughters, tell us in our time, lift the great song again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Oathsworn, or a bit of, I guess, a prequel, if you will, to Oathsworn, Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign here at Total Party Kill Roleplay. Don't know why I said the full name. I'm just incredibly nervous, but that will all dissipate in time, as do all things. That is why we sit around here, around our colloquial campfire, and tell these wonderful stories to you wonderful folk. Gosh, well, today is a day for myths and legends to be forged. We are going to be embarking on a story not often spoken of in the lands of Thylea. Even more rarely is it even known in truth. But here we will learn lands lost and found, and how the fair folk came to inhabit the most distant of lands. Of course, I'm not telling the story alone. Everyone else, if you could please, I guess, starting with Comrade and going in a big old, it's a J, right? Yes, J. J formation. If you could all introduce yourselves so the other amazing, wonderful people could know who you are, who you're bringing to the table today, and I don't know, are you excited? Are you nervous? What's up? How you doing?
A little nervous, but we'll see what we can do. Hey guys, I am Comrade Crash. I am playing Celine, High Elf Ranger. Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. If you guys were nervous at all, when Turk said Total Party, my brain immediately filled in recap, and I was like, that's not right. That's not where we are.
I was totally
So,
getting to a Total Party
fine.
recap, though.
It's totally fine. But yeah, today I'm bringing Isadora Antonia, the High Elf Artificer. And let's move on over to HP.
Hello, I am the Last Hit Point Hero, and tonight I will be playing Stetus, the Dwarven Monk. That is the plan for the evening. I'm excited to be here, and I think it's going to be just a fantastic as hell time. That's what I think. Over to Tony.
Oh, hello. I'm Tony. Tonight I'm playing Lazaros Nasius, the human fighter. I'm not sure what kind of storms are brewing for this evening. I know here I have a real storm brewing, so if I die on camera, it's because the storm got me here. Who knows? But we're going to pass it up to Al.
Oh, thank you very much. And from storms to the third heat wave we've had in the last week, I think, here. It's just gone 1:15 in the morning, and it's still 24 degrees, which, if you think that's a British summer's day, in the countryside. So it's nice and toasty here. So I naturally decided to wear a nice thick jumper for the stream. So not regretting that at all so far. Regardless, welcome. Aldabiffa playing Megathelio, the human warlock of the deep. So lots of fishy antics going on this evening. I'll gently nurse it back to Turk.
Yes, unfortunately, one of our players, Chrissy, cannot make it tonight as she is busy absolutely destroying it in the professionals world, but we will miss her dearly. In the meantime, we have a very fun story to share with you all here today. And if you couldn't already tell, I will be struggling to correctly pronounce everyone's names and really putting that half a semester I took in ancient Greek to good use. Should have picked a more Roman-focused campaign. But with that said, let's just dive in to tonight's adventure. We open on the city of Themis, a once powerful fortress from which the strongest warriors and greatest heroes scoured the land, setting sail by both horse and ship to bring back great riches. The king rewarded those heroes greatly for their efforts, and thus a mighty proto-empire was born. Unfortunately, rewarding violence inevitably leads to further violence, and when the king could not one day fulfill his promises, he was overturned, and bloodshed led to more bloodshed, and the city fell, as so many of its opponents had done before. But now, like so many others in this strange land, it is occupied and shines as a beacon of commerce and naval exploration. It's really more of a republic now, though if you ask the common man, their voting rights are, well, honorary, if anything. But this is not really a place that you guys would all inhabit usually. This is just another stop in your grand series of adventures as the crew of the brave Captain Menastokos, a man well known for his, boisterous charm is a way of putting it. Occasional crimes. Depends who you ask. I'm not a paladin or a cleric or a judge or a cop. But he is a man who has no qualms with making sure that everyone he works for is paid, and that gold and goods come whatever means can most reasonably be procured. Not to say he does anything explicitly harmful to the people, but, if some things end up on the wrong ship or, some things fall off of a boat, he's not going to gripe about it. But one another important note, he is always joined by the most impressive of seagulls, who he claims, despite never having named it, and you're fairly certain having watched it die several times, is an envoy of the goddess Pallas, deliverer of heroes, and also sailors and a bunch of other things, but Greek gods are confusing and have many domains, so why list them all now? But I must ask, heroes, adventurers, sailors? Quote unquote. What did you all do this morning before finally dragging yourselves back on to your noble ship, the Argos?
Well, Steedus woke up how he always woke up, nursing the rum from the night before.
Very good.
A little hair of the dog gets him through, though, so it's perfectly fine. Where did we park the ship anyway?
We're right there. Literally right there, kid.
What? I saw two of them for a second.
What a fine prize that would have been. But unfortunately, there is but one Argos. For now. There's plans for an expansion eventually, but... yes, you could certainly stumble your way down from your bunk at the local sailors' portico. Whatever alcoholic or hopefully eventually non-alcoholic beverage you wish, getting you onto the docks and reasonably in the right location. What about everyone else?
Well, Isadora was probably up very early, and is probably already on the ship, and was making sure all of her alchemical supplies were fine.
I think Celine's also with her, but just like hanging out, not doing anything, not contributing, just watching.
And obviously, being of alchemical ability does lend some benefit to the crew, given some other, just the fact that a lot of what you have is, medicinal, also maybe explosive. You have been offered a good spot down in the main portion of the kind of like the, not quite where you keep all the storage, but it's not quite where everyone's sleeping either. You're pretty sure it's just a drinking area they repurposed for you when you came on board, but those stains came out pretty easily enough. But yeah, you guys are just hanging out below deck. Are you guys gonna help load some things at all, or are you just gonna catch evil eyes from the crew?
Yeah, I'd probably go back up. Be like, oh, okay, well, everything's in order, and just gotta make sure nobody touches that, or else this entire thing is gonna sink down. Don't want that to happen. But let's go back on up.
Why? What do you have that's gonna sink this ship?
Oh, don't worry about it. She has what I need.
No.
Shh,
I am super
Lazarus,
worried about it.
just not yet.
It's not any one thing. It's if you.
What?
Make
It's more
multiple-
than one thing.
No,
it's-
not like that.
Oh,
Isadora, my potion. Do you have my potion?
Sure.
Thanks.
She'll have something that's like maybe akin to Pedialyte, honestly.
Yeah, you've always treated me well. I appreciate that. Oh God.
Here, a little hair of the dog for you.
It tastes awful, but it works. Now, Lazarus, what were you saying? You were making face noises.
You know what? You do you, and he's just gonna kind of like turn around, just flick his wrist. He's gonna like druid craft because they're on a ship. Need to know what today's gonna be like.
So, in regards to that, what do you usually get from that spell? Break it down.
If it's gonna be a sunny day, it's usually just a little like a golden orb. If it's gonna be cloudy, there's a cloud. If there's rain, it just shows like a cerulean drop. Snow is like a snowflake. Stuff like that.
Well, if you ever get yourself a snowflake, you'll be in for some strange weather indeed. But as you hold out your hand, you will see the golden orb of a sun, indicating clear and fair weather should be on the horizon for a good portion of the day, at least in this area. Obviously, not knowing your exact path. I don't know if you're going to go seek out a storm. That's on you.
No, I'm not part of the storm chasers.
Ah, well, they're fun.
But I don't know if you really want to go up. It's going to be a little bit of a nice sunny day. It's probably going to make you feel all dried out. All that alcohol. You lush.
I'm fine now. I have my potion. It's great.
I guess that's what the kids are calling it now.
So-
Potions.
Stetus is going to adjust the eye patch that he has over one eye to go over the other eye.
Very good.
Are you still using that old trick?
What?
Just
It
the eye
helps.
patch?
I took the days that I have forgotten to switch that patch are the days when Megatheria has blown something up.
Ooh, good point. Good point.
Speaking of, where is that magic flinger?
Where is Megatherio?
So while all this is going on, everyone's getting themselves up and ready and running about the ship. Just offshore, in all the little rock pools where the tide's lowered and all the creepy crawlies
Estuaries,
slithering
yes.
away from the morning sun. Megatherios is on all fours, hovering, staring down into one of the pools. There's sort of no real expression, and he was there long before anyone awoke in the morning. He's been there for hours and hasn't moved, and occasionally flashes a hand into the pool and pulls out a little crustacean, a little crab or something, and just feeds it to the small red octopus that is curled around the side of his head. Just feeds it, and then just goes back to staring and waiting and stillness.
There is going to be a small group of kids. You can hear small footsteps kind of just pattering against the rocks and eventually splashing into a small estuary pool behind you. And, in that young, innocent, childlike way, you're going to kind of hear one of them go, "Hey, mister, what are you doing?"
And all they're going to hear is he's not going to move. He's completely still, but just hear this old voice, like salted sea air, just seems to come from him as he stares down into the shallow water. It just says, "But they're only kids. We shouldn't this time."
Megatheria!
being summoned.
Megatheria!
We should return to the boat. There'll be plenty of chance for grub and whatnot.
You're going to hear just quick pattering and just like the kids shouting, "Go! Get the fuck away! Get away!
They're too stringy a morsel for one such a ye anyway. To the boat with us.
Well, you can make your way down from the cliffs past some ancient watchtowers that might have once served as a more defensive outlook for those seeking to keep a city safe from its many enemies. But you soon find your way down into the docks just as long with all the others. People tend to give you a wide berth in places like this, like, civilized places.
I'll be hearing my name on the breeze. Unless that's just hearing things again.
Well, probably, but I'm up and working, so you need to be up and working. Get up here.
I see. And what exactly will it be putting me old bones to today?
At that, you're going to hear, "Well, it's easy, friends. We'll once again be setting sail onto the gorgeous blue sea that our goddess has given us, eh?" And behind you'll see Captain Manastokos with his seagull on his shoulder, pulling up a final crate onto the other by the strings. "Shall we, or will I have to leave you all behind?"
Behind you as always, Captain.
Not sure I enjoy that thought, especially at certain points in my evening, but, well, I wouldn't say no.
Somebody's got to keep an eye on you.
I pay people to keep an eye on me, and make his way up the gangplank.
Interesting.
Steed follows.
We're all learning an awful lot.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you want the Catholic ancient Greece?
No.
The stars are just connecting like the constellations that Isadora looks at. Anyway, Boards onto the ship.
Taking up positions. The ship does have 2 masts. However, for the most part, getting out of this port will require oars.
Why don't we just turn the engine back on?
Something's boiling downstairs. You might want to check on that.
Yeah, so Lazarus is going to give Megatheria a bucket. I don't know if you need that for your little friend there. It's supposed to be hot and sunny today. I don't know if he's going to dry out or whatever. But...
We'll be down in the briny bowels of this ship. Don't you worry about that, my lad. There'll be no sun where I intend to be.
I don't like how any of that was phrased, so I'm going to continue on with my day. Thank you very much.
You enjoy yourself, but not too much.
Wow, this is completely ominous, and this is the weirdest ship I've been on yet.
If he wasn't so good at killing and eating stuff, I don't think we'd keep him around.
But what did he eat?
Don't you pay attention?
I don't know if I want to know anymore.
They'll not be missed.
Exactly.
Who? I want to ask who's they, but I'm just going to leave it where it is.
You just have to come drinking with us sometime.
It's a regular Tuesday night.
Exactly.
Well, Captain Manastokos will get back up from the bottom, and the rest of the crew will finish tying down the last of the smaller crates, and some turning them into makeshift seats will begin taking the oars out, pulling the gangplank, and the captain will get to the helm of the ship. The sea beckons, and we answer. Let's be off before it changes its mind, eh?
Aye, Captain.
Everyone, 2 oars, or something, please.
Stetus will, with a deftness you would not expect from a short, heavy dwarf, will leap up into the against the mast and just climb straight up the side of it to take position up at the top of one of the masts.
See some gumption from him so early in the morning.
Little surprised. That potion, whatever it was, must have given him quite the boost.
As if he'd drinking the black broth itself. Now come on, before I make the rest of you drink it.
You know how it is. You've got my full attention until evening watch.
What the rest are you doing? I'm not paying you to stand around and look pretty. Well, I might be. I don't quite remember signing all your contracts.
Can't see why we can't do
Well.
both. And don't take an oar.
Ugh. More of a watch myself, but I guess we're doing this.
Lazarus, grab the damn door.
There's enough that you can be on a team and it won't be completely reliant on your own strength.
Oh, thank God, 'cause it's only an 11.
Well, you know, the oars make anyone strong enough in time. What about the two of you?
Oh, I think I get on an oar as well.
All right. And Megathero, are you heading down below deck?
Aye, Captain. I'll be down there with the crustaceans and the barnacles, as close to the sea as one can be.
You know, someone told me once I should get a cat to eat all of the things that come on in the ship, but I'm so much more glad I hired you. You have much better stories.
And much better company. Just as fuzzy.
I noticed. Well, off with you. I could have sworn I heard some skittering down there. Or at least some clacking.
Perfect.
But yes, shortly enough, with the whole team of sailors giving a few good rows, you are able to make your way onto the open ocean, which parts for you very easily. Blue sea slapping against slapping into white foam against your prow. The city of Themis slowly becoming smaller and smaller behind you on the horizon. So just the very peaks of ancient towers are visible. At which point, the Captain Mastokos will raise a hand for signal, Cateus, you understand that you are to lower the sails at this point from your position.
Stetus will skitter across the mast. I can't remember the name of the... it doesn't matter what it's called. You just untie these knots. And I will be running across the top, releasing the ropes so that the sails billow out to catch the fair wind.
And with those done, all the sailors will begin slowing their pace, and Captain will again call, "Time to take it easy, all. Let's pull us scout our sails for a bit. We've done enough hard lifting. We've gotten out of there with what we need." And for the moment, essentially, you're all free to go about what you would consider either your duties or whatever it is you do normally on the ship. Whatever you guys would like to be doing. And in fact, take us over to that map. Except, Megathero, you are down here in...
Ooh, it has 2 levels.
It has 2 levels.
I love it.
There are indeed 2 levels to the ship. It hits on a whole lot
the
of
map has 2.
But you're all now sailing on the open ocean. What do you do when you're on a typical sailing trip such as this? Boat laden with goods, sails full of wind.
Stetus spends his time up above, making sure the sails are appropriately tight, doing whatever he can do from up there. Occasionally, writing incredibly bad poetry on small scraps of paper and just letting them fall. So every once in a while, one just falls down.
Isidore will be like looking at and identifying different clouds in the sky, and occasionally we'll see the scrap of paper fall from the sail and pick it up. What does it say?
So the piece of paper that falls down says, "I can't find my shoes. Oh wait, they're in my bunk. The sea is so cool."
Wow.
Beautiful.
I really didn't know he could write. I'm so proud of him.
But he
Yeah,
better stop
sometimes-
littering.
yeah, sometimes all of the alcohol and other things he may intoxicate himself with can really bring out the creativity, you know?
Anyone else?
Lazarus is just double checking his equipment more or less every now and then, just making sure that his bow is taut and the fletching for his arrows is correct. Changing if he has to. Other than that, he's just like playing with cards.
The captain, as you are playing, will, as one archer, as you notice, he has grabbed his own bow and several clay amphoras, by the looks of them, will kind of take a seat on the railing near you. So, Lazarus, how good of a shot are you?
I'd say I'm pretty good.
Okay, but
He's overrated.
see, that's what I've been hearing on the wind. Is you're overrated.
Oh, well, I mean,
Wind noise.
the wind might be a little drunk right now, but you know,
Not
what is it?
anymore. I'm on shift.
So it tells itself. Anyway, you were saying?
They're called ships, but
I was just simply asking myself, I hired you on. Would I bring someone on who is better at me than shooting a bow? I'm simply
Yes,
curious.
you brought me along.
My goodness. I did not remember hiring you for such a wicked, fiery temper.
Should have read the contracts.
I really should have read most of anything I signed before I signed it, but it's much more fun to figure it out the other way around. Anyway, I might have lost a bit more money than I liked last night at cards, so I thought of jumping into this challenge you've set out thus far. It doesn't intrigue me too much. I thought instead I might lose a few of these leftover pots from God, what was this? Oh yeah, that was the painter shipment.
I don't know if you should huff that, but you
I
know.
am trying not to, but it's quite pungent. But I figured, we throw this over, let it float a little bit, and see who's really the best shop around here. Maybe make it interesting. Maybe 2 gold a bottle.
You must be real desperate.
I must be very sure I'm a better shot than you, I think.
Interesting. I mean, you are entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
That sounds like a theory.
Stop arguing and shoot the bow.
Come on. Anyone is free to join, of course.
Is it just like longbows, or is it like also like crossbows? Just curious.
The flat bow has a talent of its own, I can assume, but... Alright, what the hell.
Yeah, and it's Celine also trots over and is like, I have a little old bow that can shoot real good.
Well, sure, I'm sure the bow shoots fine, but can you?
Of course. And here's my 2 gold pieces to prove it.
All
and
right.
I set them down.
And a small pile will be collecting in the middle. The captain adding his own too. And you can of course see amongst the rest of the crew there is a bit of movement of coin, promissaries being made. But the captain will work his way over to the miniature ballista here off the back of the boat. And we'll basically set up a bit of a slingshot catch in place of any proper. All right, now I'm going to really chuck this thing over the side. So once it hits the water, it's fair game. Are you ready?
I think the better question
And
is
he's going to launch
knock
it
an arrow.
immediately.
Is you.
Oh, okay.
And the first one goes out. And I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative real quick.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I gotta click on my token first.
Oof. I got a
Uh-oh.
1.
I never liked this game.
Six. Feels bad.
Okay, well,
Get all the bad rolls out now.
hope so. All right, we'll set this in descending order. Lazarus, take a shot.
Sure.
All right.
Only a yes, the 19 will definitely hit.
Within IT.
No,
Are we
it's
fighting a dragon?
no. But the 19, as this thing barely has time to touch water and bob up before your arrow clears sheath and just smashes right through it, scattering into the sea. All right, well, that was easy enough, but just one. And he's going to get a bunch and motion to another man to aim the second ballista. I'm going to knock a few more if that's okay with everybody. I'm assuming that's okay with everybody. We don't all want to lose gold on this. Yeah, okay, good. I'm
That's a fair
launching more.
assumption.
And he's going to knock it again as he'll use his turn to give you all a chance. Launching 5 this time. No 6, no ties. So yeah, Isadora.
Okay. Let's see if I can roll better on this one. Let's see. No. Oops.
You go with your crossbow and you kind of release and you kind of look disappointed. You're expecting to be able to follow a trail, maybe get a read on it, maybe bracket your shots for next time. And it strikes you, you didn't load this. So it was a practice shot, right?
Yeah, I'm working with this whole infusion thing. It's a little different.
Infusions, yes, I think I got one of those on my skin recently. It's good for the complexion. But Cateus.
Steedus will
Steedus,
grab a hold of the mast and swing around it, kind of fire pole style, to make his way down to the deck. Take a few steps up to the edge and send a dart flying. A 12.
Yeah, no, it's not super hard to hit these. They haven't gone massively far, but it is definitely at the extent of your range. You managed to kind of ping the edge of one, collapsing in and sending it into the briny depths. All right, I didn't even know you were going to be in this one, Steus.
What? I thought I was supposed to... Were we not? Captain, you
No,
said
I'm-
hit the bottle, and I hit the bottle.
Ah, you're right, of course, you're right. Well, that goes on me for trying to... Anyway. Celine.
Okay. A 14.
14 will definitely hit, and this one following along, you release longbow, and it sails and crisply cleans through a second. So now, of the 6, there are now 4 remaining. So, Lazarus.
I thought this would be more of a challenge, but
Oh, I'm sorry, is it not?
it's
As-
not. Not even looking.
We'll say for 25 you can get 2.
Oh, I was gonna say I have extra attack. Do I get to go twice?
You can roll well on the one shot and manage to pinhole through two of those, meaning there's 4 left.
And I think Celine at this point goes, "It's not fair, Captain. He's not drunk like the rest of us."
Is that true?
Gotta be,
Are you not
What?
drunk?
gotta be someone around here responsible. It can't all be blasted.
Someone spin this man. You'll see some sailors kind of eagerly begin like spinning you around.
Detus immediately goes over and helps spin.
You're gonna
Oh,
go.
I see. You just need to have your little
The
hand
rocking
trap.
of the waves and now the spinning. You are going to be at disadvantage next turn. Captain's gonna take a shot, and is going to just barely clip one. So 1, 2, 3. There is about 1 more left. So Isadora, you're up.
All right. I was shouting out our raiders in chat. Let me go ahead and roll this real fast. Let's Can I redeem myself? Okay,
Yes,
16.
you can. With a 16, that final one, you managed to load your crossbow, pulling back, getting your time, just, watching for it bobbing in the waves, watching the wind as a feather flutters by, telling you of the direction, and you loose and clean that final one just as it was about to probably go too far for you to perfectly hit. Is knocked out. Well, wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but I guess good job, everyone. And he'll motion for
Money,
Lazarus
please.
to stop. Yes, you can take your gold, and he'll pay you out. He'll pay you all out, and keeping his 2 gold that he initially put in at least. So. At least we got to spin you a bunch of times, huh?
Yeah, it's not super great feeling.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah, sure. Well, please, Isadora, please get him one of your potions then.
Oh God. I'd rather not explode today, thank you.
Oh, no. What I was saying before is each ingredient doesn't inherently explode. It's if you put certain ones together. So just don't mix things, yeah?
Isn't that what you got to do to make the thing to give me?
Yeah, well, I know what I'm doing. I feel like the rest of you probably don't. Anyway, here, I also give Lazarus some fantasy Pedialyte, I guess.
Oh God, is this SDS approved? Are you allowed to mix these chemicals together?
Yeah, it's fine.
Lazarus, just drink the potion. Isildur knows what she's doing.
Yeah, hasn't killed the dwarf yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, if a bunch of kegs in one night won't kill him, I don't think there's anything on this entire goddamn sea or land that would. Drinking wise.
That's the idea.
It's what we're hoping for, at least. But, Megatherio, what are you doing below deck?
So while all this is going on and all the shenanigans and spinning and general gaiety, he's down there. He's found himself a nice dank corner away from the rest of the crew. And he's just taking his self-appointed job of quartermaster very seriously. He's going through the inventory of the ship, all the food supplies, and it would seem we'd be carrying too much grain. I know someone who can deal with some munchins and crunchins. And then from the side of his head, just the like little tentacles of the octopus turn around and sort of just begin to, like it slips into one of the sacks and just begins to devour down into the food supplies. And he's like, another problem solved. That's what we do here. Never underestimate the challenge of the sea. For the sea giveth, and the sea taketh away.
Okay.
Stetus will shove his head into the grates that lead below deck and just yell below, Megatheria! Are you talking to yourself or that damn octopus again?
I'm not gonna lie to you, my friend. Yes, I was. I was doing that, yes.
You know that freaks us all out, right?
I can understand how that might be disconcerting. However, he doesn't know our real secrets.
You make people uncomfortable, Megatheria.
Wait, you're telling him secrets? Like fake secrets?
Don't come between a man and his octopus secrets.
I'm just curious. I need to know what kind of secrets he's telling.
Yes, fake secrets. That is how I would describe them accurately to you. Anyway, don't look in this sack. For reasons.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Megatheria, can you make me a perception check?
Sure. Whip. 18.
Oh, yeah. You are going to hear the soft of chitin against wood. Somewhere about the lifeboats.
The sea calls us. Quickly. And he'll plunge his hand into the sack of grain, and then you'll just see that like back. And he'll start just feeling his way along the wood, and then he'd stop and listen and knock, and then move along a little bit more until he gets to the origin of the sound.
Mm-hmm. And certainly enough, you do find what appears to be not quite. It's more of a hermit crab than a full crab, but fairly large hermit crab. It's using a cracked piece of pottery as a shell, and looks up at you and gives one of those with its large claws.
Stowaway. Captain, what do we do with stowaways here?
Stetus is going to look over to the captain and yell, Hey, Captain! Megatheria found a stowaway, but I think it's another crab.
And the captain's gonna go over to the grate and kind of squat down. What is the status of the stowaway? Is it a person or?
Crustacean.
Oh, you can handle it.
Right, just like the other stowaways. I like the cut of your jib, Captain.
Yes, thank you.
Might be best if you look away now.
I'm going to do exactly that immediately. And he's gonna go back to the helm.
And all you can hear from down below is what I can only describe as a violent sucking sound.
What?
Yeah.
The hell? What in the infinite everything's is
it's
that
about
horrible slurping sound?
Is there a whirlpool around here? No.
No, Cetus isn't here yet. However, Teus, help me. Stetus, you are one of the people on watch, most likely back up into the crow's nest, as it were, a small little setup that you really have. Not quite a proper, ship of the lines with all the railings, more like a nice little rope they have at the end of a bit of ladder, also made of rope. So you would probably be the first one to notice, though anyone else who is not going to be in the crow's nest could also make me a perception check if you are on the main deck and not below. 11.
God, and my passive's way better.
Them's the breaks.
It'd be sad.
I want to know how Megatheria saw anything from the bottom of the ship.
That was for detecting crustacean.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed it. I just heard it and looked over.
He just no. He was knocking on the side of the ship, and he's invented sonar. Ooh, guys. Okay. Get all the bad rolls out now. Clearly. Well, Stetus. Yes. You are able on the horizon to be able to just make out other ships moving in and out of port. But even more so now on the open ocean, kind of in the direction you're sailing, a bit due northeast. When your heading is north, you can see what appears to be heavy cloud coverage quickly turning dark, and you've seen a storm form before on the sea. It looks like that, but like it's forming a bit too close to the water. Like it's going to be a storm wall rather than a bunch of clouds flying over you, as if fog and the sea are kind of churning together in the distance. But you can also spot what looks to be a small ship along your path, a bit more eastward. In particular, you can notice it doesn't appear to be moving as you can kind of give it some time. And sure enough, as you can even begin to get a bit closer, you notice that its mast has completely collapsed in two and is sitting in the water. But you're free to call anyone's attention to anything you like.
Captain, we got a storm forming low, and there's a ship dead in the water.
Storms. They don't particularly concern me too much, he says. He'll take the helm back.
Storm.
But it's good luck to save those at sea who you don't know, especially when you're disabled as they are.
And but
Go for it. What's on your mind, Lazarus?
it's weird. This morning, my magic, whatever you want to call it, said it's supposed to be a nice sunny day, not storms.
I am sure back in Temes they are having the loveliest of weather.
I'm gonna flick my wrist again and try it. Is it still showing a golden globe?
It is, actually.
And he's gonna do it just a
Strange.
couple more times. Like, this is not normal. Fake storm, fake news.
Hey, guys, are there people on that ship? Did you say anything, Stetus?
It's a bit too far for you to accurately judge that at the moment. But you could
Maybe.
guess. Hard maybe, yeah.
Usually there's people on a ship at some point. I don't know if they're still there, though.
There might be people, there might be goods, either way. We're going to get something onto our ship, I'm sure.
Fair enough.
You guys will begin making a heading towards that ship and, unfortunately, that oncoming storm. But, oh, there you are.
He's back.
So it takes you a bit. The wind's not totally being in your favor, and the captain once or twice kind of cursing, giving them a hard glance and looking at his seagull like, you really want to make them row for this? Come on, be nice. And he'll seem to almost get a small push, never really anything to like, yes, he's speaking directly to, and that is speaking as any kind of effect, but enough that a superstitious person might attribute causality and such. But surely enough, you find your way onto a small ship. Prow seems to have run aground onto a rock, and the mast has been snapped in two. Its side seems to be letting in water as well, as it now begins listing, just the front of it being held up by its mooring point, haphazard as it may be. It's clear that this ship has little time above the waves. captain will call for anchor, and a few crew members will, haul it over the side and let the mechanism begin to drop. And orders sails to be raised, and soon enough you'll be right next to it.
Are there any bodies nearby in the water or anything to indicate there's a person?
Nothing in the water save a bunch of scrap pieces of wood and a few bits and bobs of a few pieces of sail torn up, and that's basically it.
How close are we?
You're basically boarding, but with the ship
Okay.
listing as it is, you're giving yourselves a little room. You don't want to be pulled down with it.
Okay.
You do have a gangplank though, so you can.
Yeah, I think Celine and us, another sailor, grab the plank and put it down, and then I think she hops over and gets onto the deck.
Yeah, Isidore is just gonna straight up just yell, say hey, anybody over there? Anybody reply?
Celine, you would be the one to hear this, as there is a very weak kind of. "Oh!"
Yeah, I think then she yells back, "I hear something that direction."
It seems down it's on the second in the underside of the ship.
I hear something down below. I'm gonna go check it out. And I think she tries to
Yeah,
get
getting down
herself situated. Yeah.
getting down below is easy enough. It's a simple, just haul up the trapdoor and scoot your way down. But you can see in the kind of collapsed rubble, with the light kind of shining just to illuminate, you see an old man basically pinned with a heavy piece of lumber to the side of the ship. Thankfully, the side that isn't completely submerged yet, but now the water is definitely at least up to his hip. And he's desperately, with one arm trying to push away, the other arm, just holding on to what appears to just be a large burlap sack. Please help me. I can't get out.
Yeah, I think she rushes over and tries to lift the plank off him.
Sure. Are you going to try to do that solo, or are you going to call for the rest of for some sailors and help? Because it is a large piece of wood.
Shoot. Yeah, I think I yell up, "Is there anyone out there that can help me?"
Captain, permission to board.
Oh, please, let you give me that permission. Go for it.
Stetus will grab a rope and swing down from his perch up on the mast, do a little bit of a twist as he flies through the air to land on the deck, and we'll head on down below to help.
All right. Anyone else working their way into this total knot trap?
See, knowing. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, Isadora knows she's not very strong, doesn't have a whole lot of means to help with lifting, but in terms of getting onto the deck and just watching the storm and making sure it's not getting worse to potentially help people get out of there once they are unstuck is what she's gonna do.
Okay, you can keep an eye out, and I'll keep that in mind for things going forward. Anyone else? I believe Lazarus, you were going to say something.
I was similar, but I was just staying on the main ship.
Gotcha.
With a rope on hand if need be.
Okay. And Megatherial.
Is going to gloomily emerge from under the deck, just going, "The sea bringeth and the sea taketh away. Many souls will be lost this day, and we'll be amongst them if we don't be away soon." And he's going to, just try and cheer up the crew a little bit. Try and get people to work that little bit harder, a little bit faster.
Yeah,
get that little bit of
Poetry
extra juice
like
out of them.
Stetus.
It's just going to be helpful.
Have you and Stetus talked about poetry at all? I feel like you would be a great duo.
Aye, we're planning some slam nights soon, but the captain's schedule is mighty busy.
What exactly are you slamming?
Well, that seems to
Captain!
also be a large
There's
sticking
someone
point.
stuck down here.
All right. Well, yeah, and the captain has got the motion, and a few other sailors will join. And you guys want me to make a dedicated strength check to unpin this guy with enough pull and leverage. He'll kind of come free, and he's definitely has a bad bruise forming across his chest now, but he seems able to fully breathe for the first time in a while, and he'll duck under and kind of, like just kind of grip whoever is nearest in a hug. Oh, thank you. I thought I was going to die here. Oh,
You're gonna have to let go.
oh, okay. Sorry.
Was there any other crew members besides you?
Oh, there's no one else. Oh no. We need to go. They might be back. And
That's
he's
ominous.
going to push and just go past you all, clutching this sack now with both hands, getting up to the top, the top deck of the ship he was on. Now, Isadora, you were on that ship, to be clear?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're going to see him. He's going to lock eyes with you and kind of like look at the gangplank and just... I'm going on your ship now.
Absolutely. Go.
And then he's just going to hop and scurry with surprising speed for an old man. The captain is going to kind of like be sitting on the railing again, kind of looking at him. Look back to Isadora, and I assume the rest of you are coming out from underneath because it's a sinking ship.
Yeah, I think.
I'll take a quick look around, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time doing it.
Sure. Make me an investigation check.
Alright, I can definitely do that just by pushing a button. There it is. So, finding nothing. I immediately head up.
Well, you don't know that. It's a 7, which means you don't find anything.
Oh, sorry, I thought I found nothing, but I didn't find anything.
You didn't find anything. It's very different. You look around and the water is filling up, and that really just gets in your head about it. So,
The devil's just really in the details, isn't it?
not really devils, but
Demons. Be they angels,
nay.
the Albet men.
But yeah, you are free to leave. With
As soon as I get up
now.
to the top and leap over across, I'll wait for Isadora to go across, and then.
Oh yeah. Wait. Did I get moved on the map? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm good.
No, there's not
Yeah.
a second boat, so I just switched over here.
Yeah, I'm already across. We're good.
Then I'll yell out to the captain.
Captain, the ship's empty. Nothing good, nothing bad.
Captain's gonna motion to the old man. Where does he
Now-
fall?
Now it's empty. Didn't they tell you? They let him just come on the ship and they didn't tell you.
Well, I was
Isadora.
sitting here to watch it, but
You have to tell the captain what's going on.
please.
Otherwise, he might be mistaken as a stowaway.
Well, you all
And he
found
is
him, but
procuring a rather curious sack,
yeah, we're
which
gonna
may
have
well
to learn
need
about
probing
that.
and investigating.
Yeah,
somebody needs to
definitely
ask him
inquire about what he brought on board. That would be great. But just based on all the yelling, I didn't actually go below deck, but based on all the yelling down there, he was stuck under something, and everybody else helped him get up. And now he's here.
Well, that's something, I suppose. Let me have a word with our stranger. You all deal with get us away from here, please. Don't like the look of those clouds.
Is the
Aye,
storm coming closer?
The storm is approaching. Like, if you don't make a move very soon, you will be in it.
Green means go.
We going.
But the
A
captain
bad
will
omen.
take his business below deck, kind of shuffling him down, like, no, I'm not going to steal your sack. Why are you gripping me so tightly? Oh my gosh, stronger than you look. And for a moment, you're all free to begin, pulling the gangplank back on. I am going to need one more round of perception checks as you're all near the side of the ship.
Wow,
if I don't
am
roll
blind.
shit this time.
Called out for
Ah.
you.
Whatever I'm looking for
Hey,
is clearly
okay.
John Cena.
Dirty 20. Let's go.
I got a 22.
Okay. Megatheorio, you are very interested in that sack and have thus kind of just been sitting postulating at the top of the stairs. What could be within that sack? I wonder. Grain? Crabs? Secrets
Or
of
something
all...
altogether more delicious.
Indeed. And Lazarus, you have really busied yourself with the comings and goings of the ship. But for everyone else, you can see now that near the rock, kind of just in front of your ship, you're going to see a large fin break the water and disappear.
Oh fuck.
Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that.
And then kind of following it naturally to the other side of the ship, you can again see that another fin rises and falls.
Mm-hmm.
Serpents in the sea!
Mm-hmm.
That's where they
Have
belong.
company.
And then
Raise anchor.
finally, as you are moving, as the crew begins to move to raise anchor, a band, you feel a large against the side of your ship as something just below the waterline seems to wriggle and pulling themselves rapidly from the water. A band of, I'm going to butcher this, Sakwagan?
I think that's
Sahuagin.
actually close. Yeah.
Sakwagan. Damn you Celts.
Ah,
Will break
Weird.
free and will immediately skewer the few men who are going for the anchor and kind of with their tridents hoist them over the side
Rude.
for a giant shark
What?
to take a nice big chomp of.
Who invited Kevin?
And with that, I am going to need you all to roll initiative again.
okay.
I was worried you might say that.
Here I go killing again.
Anyway, I started blasting. Wait, there it is.
One issue. Celine, I don't believe you got on the tracker. If you could roll again and use whichever score you prefer, because, you know. Okay. Good. Sorry, just pulling up, getting them on the tracker here real quick.
Looks like mine
Get
didn't go
off
on
my
again.
captain's
Yes.
ship.
Are you clicking your token?
Now do I roll?
Yes.
Oh. I must have unselected it. Oh, hey, 12 again.
Yeah, it was your first roll. That works
Yeah.
out.
Let's go.
So that's not good. Still bad rolls.
It's fine. Ugh, come on, roll 20 work for me here. All right, perfect. And let's get that shark on the board. Show me shark in it. Oh, everyone can see that. Cool. That's fine. Sorry, 1 second. Roll 20 is, ooh, not that much help. Or not much, but initiative rather.
Cereal snacks.
Isadora, you are up.
How am
And-
I first? Okay.
Well, you rolled a 20.
Yeah.
Also, as an important note, environmentally speaking, if you don't raise anchor and get moving, you are going to be caught next to a large rock in a sinking ship in what appears to be a very heavy storm.
Great. Okay.
And the advice is right here. This guy is
Yeah.
shark food.
All right. So, I don't really like this guy being next to me. And just real quick, the spears that they have, are they like connected by any rope or anything, or is it just the spear itself?
I mean, they're certainly
Like have
tied
like a
off.
harpoon kind of thing. Like,
So like a delivery device, like it would kind of no.
and then
it's-
like a retrieve back, or no?
They have rope on them. It seems that was but it's a bit more kelp ropey, not like a human-y rope.
Okay.
But
Human rope.
yes. Oh, sorry. Meat ladder.
No!
Oh, gross.
Stop
nope.
it!
Nope. Chase, I gotta leave immediately for no other reason right now. Unrelated issues.
But yeah, no. As opposed to hemp and rope, it is a more sea material based.
Okay.
Help and rope. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so it's not attached to the spear at all. Okay, good to know.
No.
Cool. Still don't really like him there, but there's not too much I can do at the moment other than attack him. So what I'm going to do instead, let me look at the radius of this real fast. It's 10-foot radius, so yeah, I'm gonna say like right on top of this guy, right here, I am just going to like throw this vial like right to the middle of the deck and cast grease.
All right, and remind me right here.
Like right where this guy is, so it's like
Okay.
yeah.
And what's the size of that?
Hold on. Let me actually measure it. So it's gonna go out 10 feet, and then out 10 feet this way.
Okay. So two blocks.
Yeah. Then 10
Like-
feet that way. Yeah, just so it doesn't hit my party members, but it hits all four of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rest of the grease going into the water, this side of the ship is thoroughly slick now.
All right. And so when they start their turn, when the grease appears, each creature standing in the area must make a dex save or fall prone.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, famously very good at dex saves. What is the DC?
What is my spell DC? Hold on. 15.
15. Okay. All these guys go prone as they are just landing on the deck. The deck goes slick, and they all fall to one knee, almost in unison, as if they were all planning it in some cool kind of hero pose way, but they weren't.
I know. Yeah.
So is that your turn?
I don't think I have any bonus actions, so yes.
Okay. Megatherio, the storm approaches. And you have
The
stowaways.
sea comes calling, but we need to make our way quickly. And I'll start to run boop, 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 across the deck and get to the other set of stairs towards what looks like where we can start to weigh anchor. And I will, on my way, I'll be like, Malachus Straka, you know what to do. The sea is your mistress too. And the octopus will, from the side of his head, and leap towards the Sorhagen. Nailed it, and will land splat on the fella there, and will try and biff this Sahagin with his octopusy tentacles.
Okay. Does it make any kind of attack, or are you kind of just harrying it?
I think it does make an attack. As my
Perfect.
little familiar friend, but it is an octopus and nothing more than that. It gets a 13.
Okay, 13 will actually hit.
Of course it does.
Look at him go.
Whoa! 4
Yes!
damage. He's a good octopus.
You
Bam,
got
bam, bam,
it.
bam, bam, bam.
Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, it will. He will actually get a good hold of this guy with his spear and kind of pulling it with a bit more might than the Sahagin expected. Will ram the back end of the spear into his chest, drawing a bit of blood. So, not good stuff for him. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's me. I'm good.
Okay, it is their turn. We'll open with these two. who are going to get the lady who made everything extra slippery and not cool. So there's going to be a spear coming at your behind
Alright.
for 15 to hit.
That just misses because I infused my armor.
There you go. So sensing it from behind as you finish casting, throwing your bottle, you just barely turn to twist to get most of the force of the thrust away from your back. The front one, though, will move forward at you and make a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it'll hit.
Okay, so that's going to be 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
As it manages to just barely pierce your side, having kind of pushed yourself against the deck, the railing, to avoid that first hit. And they are both also going to bite at you, though that is an
What?
8 and a 13.
Okay, both miss.
So they're both, as one kind of holds you down, they'll both attempt to kind of bite at you moving forward, and you're able to kind of, with both hands extended, keep both of their necks just too far away. These guys, now Grease, they're just half their move and then difficult terrain, or...
If they end their turn, they have to redo the save or fall prone again.
Okay, so these guys are going to get up from being prone, and will rush to engage with the crew and you guys, because they don't particularly like you. I guess this one will move here. We'll just say they kind of moved as a foursome there. This guy will be fighting the sailor there. And Lazaros, you have a spear coming your way. 15 to hit.
Just hits.
All right, he's going to leap forward, getting up from his cool, totally planned kneeling stance and jump and get you just in the thigh, as he will then go in with teeth for a 12 to hit. That will not do it. Then Kiteus.
How much damage do I take?
Oh, sorry, you took 5 piercing from the spear.
My leg.
Yes, it's going to be a 9 as this one tries to rush low from its stance and thrust up at you. Going, 7 to hit. I'm guessing that won't do it. Will fly too high just above you, though he will attempt to go and bite down at you with his head, but you're able to kind of push that away as it's an 11 to hit. Pretty sure that won't hit as well.
Stetus will grab the trident just behind the head, pull him forward, and as he tries to bite me, grab his tongue and pull it out. And
Oof.
let go.
Yeah, it will rocket back, at which point it's ending its turn. I'm going to say it immediately goes prone. Doesn't even get to make the save. This one is similarly, having landed, going to fall. Though this one, as curved around, is going to attempt to get a bit of a cheeky flank on you. For a 19 to hit.
Yep.
All right, it's going to get you just in the shoulder, glancing bits of your armor and digging into your skin for 4 piercing, and will similarly try to bite for a natural 20. As you reach out and pull the other one's hand away, your elbow just a bit too exposed will latch right on to where the elbow is, and you're going to take 6 piercing there.
Ah, you got my funny bone.
No, it's not that funny anymore. I guess this Sahwagan is going to try and fight your octopus friend.
No.
Oh no!
Not
How
Larry.
dare.
It's going to be a 10 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Oh no, so it's going to take 2.
Oh no!
Stabs at his,
Has 3 health.
How could you?
and is then going to try and bite
No.
for a 9 to hit.
Chrissy, come in with the heel.
Please. That was perfect.
Yeah, that does count.
A 9 will not hit.
Oh.
9 won't hit, so
Okay, we'll
Nope.
save
as he
that. We'll
goes-
save that. Then.
as he
Thank you,
goes
Chrissy.
to bite into this now pinned octopus, he is going to be rebuffed with a sudden ink blast to his mouth. And this one is, gosh, where is he gonna go? Gonna move around here and just charge into this guy, kind of attempting to harry him off the side. Though we're gonna take a dice roll, heads or tails roll on that, and the sailor is going to be able to kind of, stay on above the rail. He's not quite pushed over in this royal rumble of contest of wills just yet. And as for that other sailor, how's he doing? All right. And Catius.
They make their deck saves.
No, they didn't.
Oh, so you already did them. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The ones I read there. But
Stetus is going to shake his elbow to get that guy off of his arm and ignore him for a second and just wind up and kick the the fish person.
Yeah. We can just go merfolk, yeah.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it.
That is all of an 8.
Dang. Mean punch.
And then after kicking off of him, I'm actually going to finish the backflip after the kick and do a second blast to his face as well.
if you're doing a melee attack against all the prone ones, you have advantage.
Yep, I was going to say, I remembered this time, which is at advantage, so 18 is the better of the two, which definitely
18 will definitely hit.
which is 5 more damage to that one.
Perfect. Okay, so additional 5 damage, and you finish the backflip.
I finished the backflip. Yep, and while I am upside down, I'm going to flurry of blows and punch. Well, how can I physically do this? You know what? I'm just going to land prone next, not prone. I'm going to land on one knee next to it, and just start pummeling the one that's on the ground beside it to flurry of blows.
It's all on this guy, right?
Is he dead yet?
He's not dead. He's looking really bad. You kicked him and knocked him back. He is basically on his back at this point. If you want to land and just man.
I land on top of him and flurry of blows him right in the throat for a natural 20.
No need to roll damage at this point. You just blow after blow. This thing, all he sees at this point is dwarf knuckle and darkness.
And with my last, because I get 4 attacks with flurry of blows total, I'm just going to donkey kick the one that's on the ground next to him.
Okay.
Also with advantage because it's prone. So just flavor a 12 to hit.
A 12 will definitely hit.
So that is an additional 9 damage.
Woof! On fire, yeah. Finishing with that, yeah. You basically have blue and green and teeth on your knuckles. I'd say you can even get a +1 to that because if you're willing to punch him.
Oh, absolutely. And then I am going to bounce off of this one's chest that I was on, take a step off of this one, and go over here. I don't provoke attacks of opportunity. I am a drunken master.
Amazing.
And I will...
So you're pummeling this one into submission, turning and using his friend's broken teeth lodged into your fists against him. You then kind of just tipsy sway around, and did I give the Swaggin 2 turns? I did. Oops. I don't want that.
It's like, wait
a second. It's going to be the big shark's turn, and the big shark.
Oh no.
Is going to disappear.
What? Oh, that's more unsettling.
And you are because of a bad table, going to hear a second.
Wait, bad
table.
We got a good table.
Oh, was it a good table?
Purple Tail
500
gave us
good. Never mind then. Still gonna happen.
More bad, more good.
All right, then never mind. Celine. Start the engine, Celine. We gotta get out of here.
That was the shark.
Let's motor.
Going to the other side.
It's an electronic shark with freaking laser beams.
Oh my god.
Oh,
How did they
you got
get
a friggin' shark with friggin' laser beams attached to its friggin' head?
Celine, you are free. You still gotta get that anchor up.
Yeah.
Brave octopus can't hold the line forever.
That's what I was
It's tougher than I
thinking.
thought, to be fair.
Doing well.
Okay.
I'm going to put that to the test.
What I'm going to try to do is rush over but since everyone's like just crowding up here, I would like to leap over here, like wall run up and over the rails, and try to get up next to this guy. Would you like me to roll a acrobatics?
What are you attempting to use your acrobatics for? Just moving into a space is totally cool, but
Oh, okay. So you didn't need me to roll the.
if it's not that high, it's not
Okay.
like a full step up. It's more like, you know, the 4 or 5 steps there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a
So
Greek ship, so it's pretty flat.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, not ship of the line where it's like super high sides.
What was it? Yeah, I was thinking of Sea of Thieves.
No,
Like
no
kind of
worries.
really huge.
You do
Okay,
have
see-
to raise the anchor, but
Uh huh.
it did drop anchor on you. But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I will attack this guy.
Okay, swing for the fences
All right.
with advantage because you're technically flanking and he is engaged with this sailor.
Sweet. I'm an idiot. I forgot to equip my stuff.
Totally fine. Roll however you want to roll.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna roll with one of my short swords. 14 to hit.
That will definitely do it.
Awesome. 7 damage.
All right, you pierce in, you slash across this guy's back rather, as you kind of hop over the side there, and one quick slice sinks deeply into his back and splines.
And then yeah, I have a second short sword, and I get a second attack.
15
And
will also
15.
do it. Yeah.
Sweet. And 8 piercing.
Oof. All right. Yeah. Second attack. Where are you aiming this one? Higher or lower?
Low.
All right. Yeah. Cutting into the mud hole of his knee. He is going to crumple. It's the back of the knee.
Oh,
The,
The
knee
mud
pit.
hole.
The knee
I had to
It's a
think
hole-
about it for a
A
second.
hole specifically for mud in your knee. It's where you get to hold all your mud for free.
Y'all haven't watched enough Attitude Era Wrestling, clearly. But at the hesitancy of going into a Steve Austin rant, you slice right to the back of his knee, and he was going to go down, basically going prone. And the sailor will gain enough ground to not be in peril of going over the side into what you know to be shark-infested waters. Is there anything else you want to do in your turn? I could say, is a bonus action to start kind of trying to heal, bring up this anchor.
Am I close enough to do that?
Yeah, I'd say you can kind of, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
think yeah, she feels comfortable enough that the creature's incapacitated that she tries to push.
Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. In that case, Lazarus.
All right, not really having time to like go for the rapier on his side. He's just gonna like aim for the one that's like right in front of him with his bow. A 25 to hit.
No, yes, it will, of course.
For 9 piercing, just right in the face. Just
This is the guy right in front of you, correct?
yep.
Perfect. He is going to hold on to that for you quite nicely and firmly. Is basically a breath away from dying.
Oh, son of a bitch.
But, you know,
I guess I'm shooting him again.
you super could. You could also do something fancy with it if you wanted.
No, just.
I don't mean arcane archery, but
We're going
like, you know.
flurry of arrows today.
Okay.
As we just launch another one. Like I'm gonna need you to be a pincushion real quick here.
Yeah, 24 will also do it. You can basically just held 2 arrows at the same time. Yeah. He is not amongst living anymore. He's now a living pincushion.
Neat. I'm gonna action surge
So
because we need to get rid of this Sahara.
Yep. That is the
I'm gonna
correct
shoot. I'm
pronunciation.
gonna aim for the one up here next to the crusty friend's little octopus bud.
Yeah. Don't bully
I'm
your
going to make
octopus.
this a sharpshooter, so -5 from this.
All right.
Oh,
Yo!
What?
Let's go.
so it's gonna do 18 damage as I just. Hey, he looks like an amphora, yeah.
And just like an amphora, you are going to hear the crack of teeth as it just shatters and goes cleanly through this guy's head. A small little bloop can be heard as your arrow hits water, and
Oh,
this
that's a good
guy
arrow, too.
falls.
And last one's gonna go to this guy because I'm pretty sure he's gonna come for me.
All right.
I'm gonna go with. Yeah, we'll do another sharpshooter. Oh, I don't think a 10's gonna hit.
10. Do you have a +2 you can use?
No, I'm sad.
Well, that's not going to hit. As you finish, quickly releasing 2 with your hand, flicking over your one and launching it directly into this guy, you adjust down. But then as you finish, being at the end of the round, you are going to hear a second as the entire boat rocks and your shot goes just a bit high into the mast, the front forward mast.
Damn, that was a good arrow.
Oh my. Just look below deck. But
Don't worry about that. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
no, what you should be worried about is the calls of sailors below you. As, oh god, they're below us as well.
Oh,
Oh no.
God.
As some green scaly boys is gonna kind of, you can see just a few of them jump up on right below deck from what appears to be a hole leaking in your side of the ship now. But the captain is now also going to be here, and will begin kind of rallying the sailors here. Speaking of which, this one now gaining purchase will attempt, and will, like, having that advantage of having this guy's back of knee cut, will kind of force him down prone. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. So anyone can, do anything you want to them there, and will kind of like stand aside and also start helping raise anchor. This one is going to not be so lucky, and as he attempts to kind of grapple with the Squagon back and forth, he's kind of got his spear barely grabbed going towards it. He's gonna kind of like try and nudge him over the side, but the Squagon proves just a bit stronger and will instead send him tumbling over.
No.
Not gone, but the theme music's playing.
Fucking rude.
This guy is loading a bolt, seemingly in preparation for, if not a giant shark, certainly for the intruders on board. And these guys are going to harry the fellow that you missed, just barely. But that storm is getting a lot closer. And she got about 2 rounds left to raise.
Okay.
About a third of the way up. So, Isadora.
Cool. Well, I heard there are now the entire Sahara Desert under the deck here. So, yeah, and she's not in a great position with the Sahwagan on the other side. So, she's gonna just point off of deck and just say, "Look, a ladyfish," and then disengage action to go away. She's gonna go over here.
Can you make me a deception
Just kind
check?
of on. Oh, okay. I can certainly try. I have a +0 to that, but we're gonna try.
That's worth a shot.
That's a 10.
You'll get away cleanly, but you do catch him for a moment,
Just long enough.
yeah, just a momentary. You serious? Oh no, you. But yeah, you get away. Yeah, angry fishman noises.
Okay, we're just gonna prepare my little light crossbow and be ready.
Oh. Theus, do you believe? Is this the natural one?
What just happened?
I don't know. You rolled something, and I'm very concerned.
Something wacky.
Did you look for the fish lady? Oh, you can't hear me. Am I the only one who can't?
No, I can't
no,
hear
I
you.
also
I
cannot
hear you.
hear.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Here, the heck, you keep doing your thing.
Okay, well that's it. She took an action and her movement. That's all she can do. So she's gonna be ready with her little light crossbow.
Okay. Oh wait, did you take your shot?
Well, like I disengage,
disengage
as an action. So
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so used
No,
to
you're good, you're
rogues. Megatherio.
After seeing his poor little octo friend nearly get squidged for trying to help, just goes very starey and quiet, and his hand kind of slips inside his coat and grabs hold of a locket that he's got there, and he begins kind of just chanting, but rather than words coming out, it sounds like the open ocean almost coming from out of his lips. And then suddenly up the side of the ship will erupt a huge tentacle 10 feet tall.
There it is. It's
I drew
so
my own
good.
tokens.
It's so well drawn.
Really good.
And it's gonna come and smash this little down here as best it can. It gets a 25 to hit
That will definitely hit.
for 6 cold damage.
That's going to be just enough as smacks it right into the deck.
And with that, he's gonna just walk past completely casually as if everything's just fine, collect the small octopus from the top of the pommel there, which will gratefully nuzzle back into his collar and begin to try and turn the anchor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, raising the wench again as a bonus action, yeah? For like reducing economy? Cool. In that case, I'm going to move this guy a little bit. It is going to be the remaining Thwagen's turn. Let's see, this one's going to step up here, not wanting to be in the grease trap anymore. This one's going to be harried by 2 sailors. Not usually a good spot for him, but kind of in the midst of it, kind of blocking swords swinging through the air. He's going to make a wide strike to get some room and then thrust forward, catching one of them in the chest. This one here appears in not to be dead, but certainly he's seen better days. You remember when he was not stabbed in the chest? He looked a lot better then. Catius. You're muted, so I'm going to say I am right, and I'm going to feel good about myself. But they are going to make a spear attack at you. That's going to be a 9 to hit. I think we've lost overlay order a little bit.
We have. It's okay.
It's totally fine.
Chat, you're part of the game now.
Yes, welcome.
Hi, chat.
You
want to roll something? You can. Exclamation
What a
point.
wacky night.
Everything's fine. Trademark.
Everything is fine, actually, believe it or not. But it's going to be an 11 to hit, Kateos. I don't believe, no. Okay. In that case, it is going to try and bite you for a 19 to hit.
Whoa.
Hey, there we go. So you're going to take 3 piercing damage as this one kind of fends you back with its spear before finally getting a nice, lunging forward and getting a nice bite at your hand. Not sinking too deeply this time, but certainly drawing blood, which seems to be quite the effect on him. This one is going to follow, angered by your promises of fishy women and your lies. Will attack Isadora for a 5 to hit, as he will come sprinting across and just plunge his spear directly into the rail instead of you, but will instead then swipe out with a claw for a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Striking across your collarbone for 4 slashing damage.
Rude.
It is rude. These are not good people. I'm glad we're all learning this. This guy is going to attack here, and this one is going to get at Captain Manastokos, who is trying to, raise alarm for the crew. Some down here have drawn bows and bow and arrows. But a lot of them appear to have been caught unawares. They weren't expecting a subnautical adventure today. And some were kind of. One of them appears to, rather than have weapons, start having some material ready to board the hole that is there. So it's going to be Teus' turn.
All right. Did I fix my mic?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. That's very hard
No,
to do
you're
when I
good.
can't hear myself.
No worries.
Stetus
Stetus.
is going to, let's see. I am going to start pummeling the mud holes of the guy on the stairs in front of me. Because that is what we do.
That is what we do. That is the term.
So that is a natural 1. Apparently, Stetus does not know where the mud hole is and misses completely, but has a second shot. So he will try with second blow, which is a 21 to hit
That will hit.
for 7 damage.
That will definitely damage.
He will again flurry of blows and try and kick this guy in the side of the leg instead, because that seems like the better way to go about it. And definitely hit for a 7 more damage.
Oof. All right. Yeah. This guy has his legs basically knocked out from him. He's not full prone, but he's on wobbly legs.
And as he comes down, I'm going to uppercut as he starts to fall with the hope of rolling well and only roll a 10. You know what? I'm going to use the reroll that Proper gave me earlier because I don't want to miss this guy.
Hell yeah.
And I will forget about that. For a 16 to hit,
That will definitely hit.
which was 7 one more time.
All right. And 7 one more time combined with you bringing his momentum down and your momentum moving up. You give him a hell of a Swiss upper. And nearly, barely not catching with your fist, but instead catching him with the full force of your forearm will just send his jaw careening up into himself. And he will basically attempt to fold his body, his front of his body attempting, the top of his body rather, attempting to move this way, bottom body attempting to move this way. He'll kind of settle on a weird kind of loose thing and spring kind of back forward onto you. Not going to really inconvenience you anyway, but you do have a Sahuagin corpse, as far as you can tell, kind of on top of you.
Well, get the anchor up. I'm getting the captain.
And I will immediately head below deck.
All right.
I
yeah.
used my flurry of blows, so I don't provoke, so I don't care about this guy. 5, 10, 15, 20.
And then you just, immediately. It's like Clue. It's the same space.
Alright. Go past the captain and stand right in between these two.
Captain, how are you down here?
Oh, doing just fine. We have all these wonderful new stowaways on board. Have we raised anchor yet?
Working on it, Captain.
All right. Fitting. We have the crazy man on board and this. It's a good adventure. Speaking of which, it is going to be this guy's turn, and the sailor is overboard. He's attempting to get up off the side, and you are just going to watch as a large force grabs the lower half of his body and plummets back down.
Damn it, Kevin.
Yeah, he's not with us anymore. He's taken a leave of absence. Though you will also, within the bubbles and stuff that begins, you will see another greenish hand reach up as more Sahuagin begin the process of boarding. Should really raise anchor soon, if you know. But Celine, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. So, do I have to do?
So you can use your action or bonus action to raise the anchor. I will say you will get more out of raising the anchor with a full action.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my full action.
Okay. And it's just about as you finish your turn that the anchor will break water fully and kind of lock into place. Between the three of you, it'll kind of and the ship will begin kind of lightly moving away again, kind of not necessarily going into the rock, but it will start making progress, which is good because the storm is very nearly on top of you. Do still have to drop sails, though, which can be accomplished. I'll mark them out in red spaces. But if that is your turn, Lazarus. Oh yeah, if you have something else to do, please do it.
No, that is my turn.
Cool.
What are
So,
these neat marks?
These are where you can handle the rigging.
Oh. I'm busy. I'm gonna take a hot step back real quick.
Okay. That's out of his range, yeah?
Yeah, so you can take
You-
an oppie.
I would love to take an oppie. Does an 8 hit you? No. So he's
No.
going to stab at you uselessly.
Yes, excellent. Because I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
That's fair. You're legally allowed to try it.
We'll sharpshooter it.
Okay.
12
12.
hits.
12 will hit.
Cool. Take 19 piercing damage.
Oof. All right, yeah. You send that arrow as he finishes, barely even pulling back. You catch him right between the strange plate and his own natural scaling. It sinks deep into his upper pectoral. Dinosaurs too.
He's still alive.
I'm proud
He
of
is
you.
still alive, barely
Gross.
though.
He shouldn't be.
It seems like you probably nicked his fishy heart. If left alone and without treatment of advanced medical doctors or magic, he will probably expire on his own.
Well, I saw 2 boys coming up, so I'm gonna shoot right behind him. Press my luck. We're gonna sharpshooter that one too.
Hell
Shoot
yeah, that's
it.
what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That will definitely do it.
That's an 18. I'm gonna make this a burst shot.
Oh,
So the arrow's gonna hit him, dealing 18 piercing damage,
okay.
and then the tip of the arrow is just gonna blow up. And every creature within 10 feet of it's gonna take 8 force damage.
Ow.
You gave me a hard time about explosion.
Listen, I'm not gonna make the entire ship explode, just him and his
Imagine
friend.
Attitude.
Just sticks into basically his upper arm as he's pulling himself up. And he'll kind of look back down, in pain as he recoils. And then magic force envelops the side of the ship, clearing a bit of the water. God damn it, my shark was there. Why are you hitting my
Oh,
shark?
hooray!
Whoa!
So, yeah,
He's
so
got a battle
this
shark.
boy got
B5 hit.
Got him. His friend here should take the 8. This boy should take the 10 feet of that arm.
Yes, don't worry. The magic force clears him.
Yes,
He
yes.
falls forward, and the arrow that is in his chest somehow sinks deeper. Again, you have a very strange pit trap. Honestly, at this point, if you wanted to have someone walk over him, maybe put some garlands over it. Could be a nice tree. But yeah, he's expired.
Gross and bad.
Well, that's
I think that's
it's
all.
called art.
Art. And then I'm just gonna make my way downtown, getting towards the rigging, because, good lord, we need to get the hell out of here.
Okay, and that was action as bonus action from you, yeah?
No, that was just my full action to shoot.
Okay.
This is my Rudy Tooty point and shooty.
It's a bonus action to, start getting a control of the rigging there. I mean, also letting down the sails is much easier than as long as you're all okay with going full sail.
Yeah, we need to.
All
We
sail.
need to go.
We need to go.
You can just with the bonus action pull that knot, and you'll see half. Basically, it's not the full mast, obviously. The other half it's mostly pulled up. But if you have the full curtain pulled down on one side, the other side's mostly
Would
down
you
as
have
well.
said maybe that force arrow blew up that part of the rigging, or not the rigging, maybe the rope, and then just whoop?
I'd say yeah. Why not?
Hooray!
If you're comfortable with not being able to
no.
manipulate that area any further, unless someone goes and like gets a hold of the ropes and reties them, I'm totally on board with you fully releasing the sail and getting a move on.
We're in the danger zone here, Mr. Loggins. We need to go.
We can fix it later.
Yes, you most certainly can. Fix it in post, so if there is a post.
What did you do to my rigging?
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. How are you?
The sail falls and begins to fill with wind, and the ship begins moving forward towards the storm.
Oh, shit.
Wrong way.
Speaking of which, hey, it's time for me to change the music really quick. But first, I think we should take a really quick break.
Oh.
So, we'll be right back, everybody, with more adventures as our group heads into the storm, or as I like to call it, part 2, the start of something terrible.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no.
Fear.
Welcome back, everybody. We have returned as the storm wall fully encapsulates your vehicle ship.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom, Bodie McBoatface. The Argos is completely taken in the storm, and immediately the sky is just no longer visible. Only gray and cloud, and the occasional cracking of thunder overtakes all of you as the waters quickly get out of hand, tossing you. What once was a peaceful cutting through the water is now rocky and rough terrain as the ship turns back and forth with no one at the helm. But it is going to be... We just finished with turning someone into a pincushion, so as we turn back to this, Isadora, it is your turn.
All right. Well, this guy is very persistent, and they're just going to continue to follow me unless I bring it to justice. So I'm just gonna hit him with the bonk with the boomerang, and then stab with my dagger real fast. So we'll see if that works. Let me roll some attacks. So first one, just a bonk. I know it doesn't. All right.
You are going to try and swing at this guy, and the ship will lurch as the wheel begins spinning on its own, and you'll just...
Yep, not even a +2 can help that. So we're just gonna move on. Stab. That'll hit though.
Full force of the
dirty
turn.
funny. So 6 piercing against this guy. I faked him out. He thought I was gonna miss that. And it's right in the gut.
Yes, you do stab. You do attempt to gut this fishman. You haven't quite filleted him yet, but using the returning of the ship, swaying to the other side, you are able to get a solid strike into his. I guess yeah, that is the fillet. About that cut.
Beautiful.
Is that the end of your turn, or is
Yep,
there anything else?
that's all I got.
Okay. Megatherio. Anchor is raised. The back sail has been let down, and more Sasquagans are boarding even as you join. And the storm around you has quickly made this situation quite perilous.
The gigantic tentacle is going to begin to slither and worm its way over the deck. 30 feet. Blip, 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 blip. Plop, over to here. And begin to coil around and attempt to squeeze the life out of this chap here as best it can. It gets a 13 to hit
13 will hit as it coils around him.
for 8 cold damage.
Oof. All right. He is
The
going
chill
to
of the sea.
quickly feel the chill of the sea, and will, as he's kind of trying to fight off these two sailors, will have it kind of brought back around into himself. We'll briefly have a moment where he freezes up, but despite moving slower, he is still moving about. Is that your turn?
I still have an action left, and so stood at the prow, the front of the boat, he's going to pull from his belt a bell, stare down at the Swagan, and begin to ring it. Toll the dead.
That's a save on his part, yes?
It is a wisdom save.
Okay. That's going to be a 13.
Okay. He needed a 15, so he's going to take 13 necrotic damage.
Oof. Okay. He appears to just have the life drain out of him as kind of like a magical wave of force kind of just pushes his body. He just collapses basically catatonic to both knees. And the two remaining sailors will just kind of take the moment and stab two swords full of them and pop a pirate, basically, out of the barrel. That is the Swagan.
And then he's going to make his way down,
We'll say-
being very careful.
For a movement that is not spectrally based, is going to be considered rough terrain or difficult terrain, just because the ship is pitching back and forth with no one controlling where it's going.
Whoa. So it's only half seas. So from there down. Yeah, about the bottom of the stairs, clinging on and staggering with the ebbing and flowing of the boat. He's going to get to about there.
Exactly.
And that
all right.
will do me.
Okay. And that is going to be the Siswagan's turn. They'll just start with this one. Isadora, it is going to strike at you with its spear. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
It will ram you right in the flank, attempting to return the favor for 6
the flavor.
piercing. The flavor, yes. And will
Return
attempt
the
to
flavor.
bite down into your shoulder for 22 to hit.
Bruh.
For 2 piercing damage.
Wait, what was the first damage?
6, so 8 total.
Okay, cool.
These guys are going to finally heal themselves up.
Shit, I thought I blew that dude up and did nothing.
He is still alive,
How
and he
dare
seems
he.
to want to give his last for his fishy god.
Yeah, how dare you still? You have a lot of nerve being alive.
Yep, basically. And this guy is going to get this far before wobbling and having to kind of dig a claw into the mast to keep ground. But this one, using going full tilt at you, will strike for a 7 to hit.
Negative.
Yeah, we're gonna say he just goes full on sailing, just barely gripping on to the railing. We're gonna take a second turn away, because he is basically dead. But below deck, these sailors are going to have moved a bit to engage, and are going to basically be finishing your kills if you get them close enough. Stetus. But for the moment, you do have some fishy dance partners, and you're going to have a 17 to hit and a 13 to hit.
13 misses.
Okay, so you're the two of them will thrust at you both at the same time, and one will find a bit of catch on right on alongside your hip. So it's only going to be 2 piercing in that time.
Barely scratched me.
And then they're actually going to try and scratch you for a 5 and a 13. So they're both going to reach out with hands to, as if to remark, but Captain's going to shoulder one just away, and the other you're able to, parry off. This guy is going to stop and just clutch up on the spear, and as the water continues to rise in this room, chuck it directly at the captain. Why not? It's going to be a 14 hit, and he's not really wearing armor. He's kind of a bare-chested captain.
Saucy.
Your ship's
Return the
sinking.
flavor.
Listen, when your ship's sinking, you're not really worried about what you're wearing at the time.
Exactly, that is fair. But he is going to catch that spear to the side, only taking 2 piercing damage. But
Unless it's armbands.
he appears less than thrilled to be carrying on some additional weight at this point. Stetus.
Captain, you alright?
I'll live. It's not the first time something pointy has pricked me. And he'll pull it out quickly.
You gotta get there, get to the helm, Captain. I got these taken care of.
And I am going to open up on the one to my left. That is a 16 to hit for 8 damage.
Yep.
I will follow up with a second blow to his chin, a 24 to hit for 7 more damage.
Yep.
I am going to flurry of blows to continue on that same one because we don't want him to live no more. The 19 to hit for 7 more damage.
Yeah, no, that's going to drop him.
And then I am going to drop to the ground, do a clock step sweep to the one behind me, which is my last attack of a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that will definitely connect for 9 damage.
And then I'm going to hop back up and let's see.
Captain, I'll distract him.
And I'll slap him in the back of the head. And 5, slap this one on my way by. 10, 15, slap this one on my way by. 20. And I got
Are you
one
taking
more.
half moves because the ship
Yes,
is still
this is
listing
my
around?
last, That was my last step.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, they all are going to turn angrily at you as you're sloshing through water, smacking them on the heads.
And that's my turn.
There is going to be a as the water comes splashing in here, there is going to be a momentarily extra heavy rush of water as if filling the hole, a shark's head will kind of collide in.
Yep.
Seemingly sealing it, but like it'll just be like wildly
Knew it.
thrashing, like waiting for something to be thrown into its maw.
Hey, Kevin.
The other, as the waves crest, and you will hit a particularly high wave, you will see on board here a second shark will temporarily flop onto the deck and begin, again, thrashing around angrily, attempting to move it towards meat. Celine, you're up.
Okay. There's a big shark on the deck.
Yes.
I think yeah. So I run down over to this rigging. Does it take an action to?
Bonus action.
Okay.
Just drop it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just drop it and then I pull out my bow and arrow, or my longbow, and I'm gonna try and shoot this shark.
Okay. Don't you love Tuesday nights just shooting the shark with your buddies?
That's a 1.
You pull back and the spray of water temporarily overtakes you and your bow just kind of loses any, like a whole lot of its, elasticity, and it just thunks to its natural state as you release, and the water shoots forward. The arrow kind of planks right in front of you. You're able to quickly collect it, but your bow is wet, and it just really just shot water at this thing, which is already pretty moist for the most part.
Yeah, like I just shake that off and do my second attack. 15.
15 will hit.
Sweet. All right. 5 damage.
Okay. This one sinks into the blubbery side of this shark. Not doing, perhaps, not like, obviously as hampering as a smaller figure might be hurt by it, but certainly taking effect as it will again wriggle in pain, thrashing more and more about as water blasts up the sides of the ship. Lazarus.
All right, I got this ding dong just chilling here on the side of the boat.
Yes.
Super neat.
He's
I
super about
don't
to
super
fall
care
off,
about
too.
him right now.
Okay.
Uh,
He's gonna try and claw at you as you walk away.
how dare.
For a
How
5.
dare. No.
It's less like he's trying to scratch you, and more like, oh dear God, please, I can't hold on to anything else.
No. I'm gonna aim for the one up here, by Isadora.
Please.
And,
I can't roll for shit.
we're not going to sharpshooter this one.
Okay.
So this
11, but it's close. It could be like a +2 situation.
I don't have that.
No.
Didn't you just get it?
I did, and I also had a -2 because somebody decided to be that person. So I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay. That's
Bruh.
2 11s.
Okay, thank you, game. Thank you. This is
No,
exactly
I
what I need.
appreciate the effort.
You take 2 quick shots to try and free up Isadora, and both times, as you're about to loose, the ship pitches and shifts, and you end up just firing them, not necessarily entirely out of the way, but not on target enough, catching wood and clearing just a bit too high each time.
God damn it. Can't recover those.
No, you really can't, so I don't know if you're going to be able to recover much anyway. But that's the end of the round, which means I get to roll a cool little thing here. Ooh, complication number 1. Megatherio, you are closest to the front of the ship.
Well, I guess that's technically yes.
For the
Forgot the
record,
sailor dude.
For the record, we also have a sailor there, and because you're within 30 feet of him, you will be able to hear this as he shouts out, "Cypria, we got big rocks!" And indeed, at the end of this next round, unless someone is able to change course with, say, a oar or enough force or control of the waves, you guys are going to collide into a big old rock. But at the moment, it's the sailors go. This one is going to kind of hesitate a moment, having been previously stabbed and not quite enjoying it too much. This one will go up and look to you. Lazarus, what do you want the sailor to try and do? As he gives you a momentary,
Loosen the rigging!
and he'll nod, moving past the strange. I think that's 15 feet from him. Yeah. And he'll take his action to fully loosen with a bit more control the other side of it as you gain more speed towards the rock.
Shit!
But to be fair, you also maybe have more control as he is able to tie it down and keep it at a controlled height and won't randomly pitch as much as the back one. Below deck, these guys are going to loose a few volleys at our brave little intruders here. Natural 20, and not a natural 20. As this guy is going to get pricked with a few arrows, definitely taking a good amount of damage, looking pretty bad. Sorry, don't think I pinged this guy. It's going to get turned into target practice at the moment. And this one, the one in the middle here was carrying carpenter supplies and kind of looks at the shark and then kind of looks at the captain. Captain's like, "Why don't you shoot the damn thing? Come on!" And he's going to try and loose a shot at that shark. It's not going to sink in for much, but he pulls back loosely and pings it into the shark. More of a scratch than anything. But the captain is going to hurry up. He seems ready and more on sea legs than the rest of you. Almost as if the turning of the tide doesn't necessarily stop him as much. I'm going to just still measure it out. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. He is going to rush past this wagon and grab the rapidly turning wheel and pull, and his bow is at this point more hooked onto the wheel spokes than anything else, and he's just gonna kind of pull out a long sword and kind of gesture at this wagon. Whenever you're ready to kill this thing, Isadora, really, it's whatever, it's fine. I just have 2 fucking sharks on my ship.
I'm working on it.
And he is going to pull that ship. Oh my god, I forgot about Ballista Boy.
Yeah, he's been very useless this entire time.
Gasp, how dare you. You know
I've
what?
at least been trying. He hasn't even been rolling.
That's fair. He turns the ballista around and is just going to and loose this wagon directly into the back of the mast, pinning him there because he's been lining up the shot the whole time. Obviously, that's what he's been doing all the times I forgot he was doing a thing. And he'll start getting another bolt ready. Can't quite get a shot at the hunter shark there, but if there was a 3rd shark, maybe he could give it a shot.
Oh my god! Please no.
In the meantime,
Don't do
Isadora,
this. Okay. I'm just gonna get a little further, just kind of cozy up next to the captain here. Are there any like spare, just kind of ballista bolts just around at all?
Yes, in the crate here that you see that he was running towards, he's got that's where they keep them. Ballista bolt storage.
Okay. Would you say that they're like, how heavy are they?
One man could carry them fairly easily. They're not like whaling. Well, no, they're more like whaling spears or something.
All right,
than like,
all right.
we're
Would
gonna
you
break down a
say?
wall with this.
Would you say I'd be able to cast catapult on one?
Catapult is how much weight?
It's 1 to 5 pounds, so I doubt it.
No, but you could get one of your own crossbow bolts just fine.
But then I could just shoot it.
Well, 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's got to be. You could probably find a lighter one, I guess, like a real thin ballista bolt. I'll
Okay,
argue.
like you don't have to give me this. Like I can just shoot my way.
Wait, there's a good table. Yes, you can. The ballista bolts are specially made to be lightweight and easily portable for this ship. That is almost certainly does some illegal smuggling every now and again. So they're made to help you get under that weight limit.
Well, okay.
Once you're weird, they'll just lift your ship up and weigh it, and it's like, what the heck is this thing? Anyway.
All right. Well, sure. Well, sure. I would love to cast catapult on one and try to throw at this guy over here.
Okay, this poor guy who's hanging onto the rigging for dear life.
Yeah, like, he's very close to me, and I don't like it. So I need a dex save.
Okay. He's barely making any like life saves at this point. I want a dex save from him. 4.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
All right.
4.
I am, because that's gonna give me 3d8 damage real fast.
He had 1 health left.
Well,
Holy shit.
now he has none.
The catapult soars by, and just as this one was impaled into the wall, this one just goes out into the ocean, getting lost in a large wave that collides with the side of your ship. It's just bye.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Megatherio.
It's gonna move the old tentaclay.
Yes.
And continues to slip and slide eerily across the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna nestle in there. And it's gonna hit the little squishy boy.
Please
Hit the
do.
squish and bam! It's an 18
will
for
definitely
6
hit.
cold damage.
All right, you smack atop this thing's head as it recoils a bit from you, but still stands ready to attempt to kind of strike back at this strange creature.
And again, he stands transfixed and once again raises the ship's bell.
Another.
And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
No, he will not do that. as you again watch the life drain out of this creature's eyes as he falls and kind of just lets the next wave take him. You see his body kind of up against the side here, just the back wall, not really moving. In fact, the shark will bite it and munch on it happily. It is their turn, and we have, while the top deck is clear, the bottom deck does have a few problems. And they do have a dwarf they'd like to take it up with, as they are going to, well, this one's engaged with the sailor. Very cute couple. Weddings in July. These guys are both going to attempt to spear you, one for a natural 20, the other for a normal dirty 20. Okay, I cannot hear you, but I saw the yes. Oh boy. Okay, so the first, he is going to run and the ship will turn, and with the other one kind of keeping you pinned down with one, he'll stab you right in the guts for 13 piercing. The other keeping you down with 9 piercing. And they are going to also both bite you for a 6 and a natural 1. As the one who ran you through attempts to kind of move in and get at some of your delicious life ichor, and will just use momentum still to carry him forward, and he'll just end up biting the life raft here with his teeth stuck into it. So next attack against him, you can get a +2. And this other one will just chomp at you ineffectually. Speaking of which, I need to roll a D100 real quick. Yep. 1 second. Sorry.
I needed those guts. Oh, it feels so good.
Bada boom. You'll see some fishy hands from behind as you go. 2 more will begin climbing up.
Get a job.
You suspect that this might be their job.
Get a different job.
Be good at your job.
It's Stetus. Ooh.
Oh, God, I'm getting tired of this.
Stetus will open up on the one that got him good in the guts.
Yes, this fellow we have a +2 against.
Dang it, that's only 11.
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I'll try again and get a crit.
That works for me.
Oh, you called it.
So that is so it's not prophetic. There's a slight delay.
No, let us live in the fantasy.
So I will punch at him as his face is stuck in the lifeboat, and it pulls his teeth out just in time. I break the lifeboat and grab a hold of one of the shards of wood and just jam it right in the side of its head. So that was 10 damage.
He's done. He takes that side of wood and starts trying to use it to think, and it doesn't really work well for him.
Then I will use a key point to flurry and blows his friend, because he helped. So that is only an 11 to hit.
Yeah, you don't get the +2 on this guy, so.
And then the second is a 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
And I am not wanting to be chased by these things. I want to get out of here, so I'm going to key point to stunning strike his sorry butt.
Okay, wisdom save from him, correct?
Constitution.
Ooh, even better.
14 for to beat.
He rolled a 3, so didn't quite make it.
He can stand there while I run away.
That was what he was planning to do anyway.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Okay. Now it is time for the sharks. And this one down here will again attempt to wiggle. Just a little bit further in. As the Sahuagin, last remaining Sahuagin that is not a drooling mess, that is to say, that they aren't normally Julianess's normally, will get ready to try and feed this sailor to its shark buddy. This one will similarly flop and attempt to thrash forward at this tentacle, but miss, as it is not actually there, and instead settle for eating the sailor. As he tears into him and just gets most of him down his mouth. The rest of him is unfortunately lost to the sea. And that's going to be Celine's turn.
I think I don't want to get close to its mouth, so I'm gonna just keep attacking with my longbow.
Sure.
All right, 13 to hit.
I believe that hits. Sorry, I'm sending a cheeky message in chat. Because the shark could use some guts too. 13 to hit will hit.
Oh, sweet. 11 damage.
Oof, yeah. Jeez, what are you hitting him with?
Longbow.
Well, yes, but damn. Yeah, you sink one in directly into its maw as it attempts to, chomp down on the rest of your sailor friend.
Okay, and then I have an extra attack, and I'm gonna 21 to hit with my bow.
Yeah, that will also still hit.
Yes, and 7 damage.
Okay, well, you unleash 2 shots. The first one rocketing, and the second one catching the front cheek of the shark, and it just will writhe in pain, more so than it's already writhing. It's really a whole wiggle fest going on here. Start a whole band about it. But it is going to attempt to kind of like aggressively move closer to you just a little bit, using the last bit of momentum to really get up in your face, but won't be able to attack. Which brings us to Lazarus.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up from that because fuck no.
Moving out of its range.
I am moving out of its range.
It's going to try to bite you for a 25 to hit.
Oof, ouch, my leg meat.
It is going to turn and grab your leg meat and give you a hard, big old bite. There might make a movie about you later. 14 damage.
Oof, ouch. Give me back my leg meat, you bastard.
No, it's his now.
I'm gonna. Oh god. So that was 5, 10. Getting up here like the top of the steps. Oh god, there's more scaly boys. I'll shoot at the shark first because he's a piece of shit. We'll sharpshooter him. Well, that was a bad idea.
Oof.
We're gonna try it again.
Yeah.
Wow! Why? Why?
No.
Why does that keep happening?
Say what you will.
know.
At least you're consistent.
Yeah?
That is 2 12s in a row.
I'm precise, but I'm inaccurate, which defeats the purpose.
No.
So I'm gonna bonus action just like shit, and I'm gonna second wind.
Okay. Taking a moment to collect yourself.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay.
Maximum heal.
The captain is at the helm, and those below are going to see the old man with his bag just poke his head up from the stairs, looking about scared, but will make his way up to about here. I'll get a new sailor to represent him and mark him as such. Give him a green token for old.
What?
Green clearly
You know.
means old.
Green means old.
Yep, checks
What?
out. Sure. Science.
And Captain Manistogos will hard turn the ship to port. I didn't really indicate anyway whichever way he's going, and my video's reversed, so you don't know if I'm right or wrong. And you barely managed to clear this rock. I'm gonna need everyone to make me a dexterity save as you boom, shunt slightly into it. DC 14.
Oh, of course.
Ooh.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Something
Lazarus, I want you to roll me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a D8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I want you to make me an acrobatics check as you are being shunted 5 feet this way.
Not today.
You
Today.
manage
Whoa.
to take a hold of the side of the ship, but you are like on the opposite end that you really want to be. Let me just do some quick rolls for some swagons and captains.
Isidoria, sister, help me.
Walk. I
Long.
can't. No, that's horrible.
Long live the king!
Oh, jeez.
No.
Shark's good. Okay. Really quick D8 roll for these guys. Oh. I lost my D8. Unfortunate. Okay. Ooh. He's going to be shunted 5 feet this way, and his buddy is also going to be shunted in a certain direction to be determined at this moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5 feet this way. And acrobatics check. And he's also going to be holding on for dear life right in front of this ballista that has recently been reloaded. Which,
Oh no.
given it's the crew's turn, he's going to just rotate around and kind of, you can see Isadora, he kind of gives the guy like a shrug, like, this tough break, man. And
Guess I'll die.
release.
Guess he'll die.
Just launching this guy into the water. Poor guy.
Jeez.
You mean poor guy? He comes up here trying to murderize us.
This guy is gonna come over and use his turn to like help tie down some of the rigging that you let fly. So the front sail is completely under control. It is 100% stable. The back one still rattles with uncertainty, and if there were, say, a particularly strong wind, it might come more particularly undone. And down below deck, this guy is just going to be run through with arrow and sword. But let's give a quick roll to see how well this sailor's doing in his fight. Not well. Struggling with the spear. The Swagan is going to back roll, pushing him up with a foot directly into the shark's mouth as he is gobbled up and turned into human meat. Unfortunate.
Human meat.
Human meat. But, oh, whoops. It is Isadora's turn.
Okay, cool. There's
Oh, wait.
still one here. So,
One really quick. Gotta roll. Oh, hey, cool. So that rocket is going to have burst a second hole. You can hear more sailors down below calling for someone please help fix the hole in the ship.
Use some tar.
Die.
Get it done. I'm fighting for my fucking life up here.
So, between those two holes, one hole filled with a shark is fine. 2 holes, that's rough.
alright, we need another shark.
We've got to bring the shark downstairs to plug the other hole.
Okay. New plan.
That's obviously the answer.
Well, you
Can't
know what this
catapult
plan
that
needs?
one, though.
More sharks.
More
sharks.
If you could lure another shark into the hole.
Yeah.
There's plenty of blood in the water. I'm sure it'll be easy.
Well,
Oh no.
Isadora, it's your go.
Okay. Well, we still don't want that guy trying to hit the captain, so I'm just gonna try to get rid of him, I guess. And so Isadora's gonna take a little vial of acid and just kind of load it into her like crossbow, shoot an acid arrow at him, and see how that goes. I have to make a spell attack. 21. There we
Yeah,
go.
that would definitely hit.
Alright, so then that is 4d4 4 damage immediately.
Oof.
And since I am an alchemical savant, I can add 4 more damage to that. So
Okay.
that is 13.
Where are you hitting this? Remind me.
Like square in this guy's face if I can.
Oh, damn.
Rude. In
They've been rude to me.
well, yes, but again, it's their job. They are the bad
Yeah, well,
guys.
this is my job. Just business.
It's just business. Yes, I am. Megatherio is obviously descending very slowly as the ship falls apart around him. Because it is going to be, if there's nothing else, that is going to be your turn.
And just to note on that's Sawagin's next turn, he's going to take 2d4 more acid damage.
Ow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a nasty spell.
That you're going to see as it collides into his neck, basically, and start melting away like a cyanide capsule. But Megatherio, what does you and your big, creepy tentacle buddy do?
I'm gonna leap over the banisters. I've passed the short friend and head downstairs. Down to here. So that's what, like 10 because it's doubled.
Oh no, it's not doubled anymore. The captain's at the helm, so you're good.
Oh, good lad. There we go. Then 5, 10, 15. Pass this guy. Get out of the way, nerd. Bam. Second hole. Okay. Doesn't appear to be any sharks here.
Okay.
We'll wander over here. And on big shark lad here, I will cast my hex. A big hex on a shark.
Ooh.
Because he's doing too much wriggling and it's pain and no one likes him.
Wow.
I heard that
Words
somewhere.
can be hurtful.
Well, that's the problem. Do you know what else is helpful? The sound of the tolling bell.
Remind me, Hex. What it do?
So Hex does an extra d6 of necrotic damage every time I hit the creature, and it also lets me pick a saving throw that they now have disadvantage at, and I choose Strength. Because
Very
I think they're
good.
probably going to be good at that. So your shark now has disadvantage on the old strength checks, and he needs to make me a wisdom saving throw from the power of bells.
Am I reading that right? That's 23 necrotic damage?
It
Oh,
does
yes.
2d12.
Ah!
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
You watch as you ring this bell with enough force that it's kind of almost splinters a bit of the wood around you. And the force moves forward, and this shark kind of... It seems to be conked out for a moment, only barely regaining consciousness. Oh my god.
Plus 4 from the hex.
Yes, he did take that 4.
Bam. Get
what?
wrecked, nerd.
You didn't do anything to fix the hole, right?
No, I did nothing to fix the hole.
Okay.
Team
Just
player.
The Sahuagin, very distressed that you hurt his shark, is going to try and, stab you and force you into its mouth. Does a 13 hit?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to stab you. Rather than do damage, make me an athletics check.
10.
Uh,
I'm
I'm
very
gonna use
old.
I'm going to use my +2 for a 12. So you are going to be moved 5 feet here. As he circles around you, moving you closer with that spear. And then he's going to bite you. But, 5 probably won't hit.
No, just misses.
Okay. Just so close. Alright, good to know. But at the moment, the other crushing jaw is it's Stetus.
All right, I'm gonna try something. So you tell me what to do about it.
Yep.
So all the sails are secured now, right?
Yes, the back sails aren't super secure, but they're down.
Okay.
The front sails, all good though.
Okay. And then I heard that there's another hole in the ship.
There is a second hole at this red mark, red square I've marked, the area of interaction.
Can I slide up to here, adjacent to the cargo hold access, and pull the pin that opens it so the shark drops down?
Yes.
Okay.
Chaos.
Yeah, so that'd be right about here. It's
It's gonna squash the swag.
you can see it's right about there. It's going to. I will make the Swaggin make a acrobatics deck save to get out of the way in time. However,
Oh my
At
god.
disadvantage because he was not expecting a shark. to be
that's true, and he rolled an 8. So we'll say, why not 2d6? Why not? It's a shark. He'll take 11. He'll barely climb his way out from under there, and be very confused, emotional as well as mental damage.
I will look down through the grate and I will say, careful, Megatherio. And then run over to the back to tie down the last of the back.
For a bonus action, make me a. What role would you say would Cetus's technique be to grab a bunch of ropes that have been like sprayed and flailing about?
Acrobatics for his quick hands and quick thinking.
Sounds good to me. Make a roll for it.
Good. Only an 11.
And it's not going to do it, as you are going to begin trying to get a hold of these ropes. You can kind of get a hold of one, but the water will splash up in your face and you'll lose sight of it, because damn you, this eye patch wasn't such a good idea in the light. But it was your lucky eye patch, to be fair. Which, if that's your turn, the Jaws music is playing. So 11 to hit. Megatherio?
11 doesn't.
Okay. The first one is going to thrash at you from the end of its from its back as it kind of spins around quickly, feeling the pressure and blood, but really getting more of the Sawagan than you. The other one is going to be a 16 to hit
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
as it grabs a hold of your leg muscle.
No!
And you'll
I
take
need
9 piercing damage. Low rolls. Which brings us to Celine. Oh, I forgot to roll the 2d4 for this Swaggin. 2d6 or 2d4 for poison arrow. Heck.
Ooh, yes, 2d4.
2d4. 6 more damage. Okay, so the poison stops, but he is still standing. Barely, though. But it is.
I don't know
Celine's-
if I can add. I don't know if I can add alchemical state into that again. It says one roll. That's his turn, so it's not very specific.
We'll say no for right now. We'll let
Okay.
Celine maybe get a kill.
Okay.
Glory hugs all of you.
I think I move over to the open grate and shoot the shark that just went down.
Okay, yeah. Take a shot.
All right.
It's like shooting
18?
fish in a barrel. 18 will hit.
Yeah, one big fish.
11.
But one of those is definitely Megatherio, so be careful. So 11 damage to this thing. You sink it right past its dorsal fin, and it is very sensitive there clearly because it seems to not like moving so much after you do that. It's still moving, but it's
But
like
not as
having a
much.
hard time. Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna send another arrow at it. 14.
that will do it.
Hopefully 7 damage.
Perfect. Where would you like to hit this shark to send it to the watery grave that is the bottom of your ship? Wait. If no one fixes a hole, it'll be a watery grave.
Put him right in the locker.
In the mud hole?
Brilliant
Oh,
answer.
put him right in the locker of Mr. Jones.
No way.
Oh.
Put him in the mud hole. Hit him in the mud hole. It's perfect. I don't know where the mud hole is.
Whose mud hole? Whose mud hole's big enough? That's not even.
I was thinking of
Either side
dolphins.
of the fin.
Yeah, you
Can
got
you point to
options.
the mud hole on this doll shark?
Give me enough time,
yes.
we'll make one.
Ooh, I had
TOS.
I had a dumb shark anatomy joke, but we're gonna not.
Please.
Well, no, like, do you guys know what the claspers are on a male shark?
Of course not.
Do I?
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, I
the
mean, yes. of
Don't
course.
I? There are
Look it
many
up later.
advantages to being.
Are they next to the mud holes?
Yeah, they're in the same
My brain
neighborhood.
is melting right now.
Lazarus, Nasias, you got a hole in your ship.
There's 2 holes in this ship, and I'm holding on for life.
Oh yeah, you are holding on the side. Everyone
Nobody's
completely forgot
helping
about
me.
that.
Team player.
Yes.
I mean, someone dropped a shark on it. You guys dropped a shark on your warlock, and
It's
It
fine.
very clearly landed on the Sohamagian.
We'll just call them the Stassies for now.
okay.
But I need to get up on this goddamn ship.
Yes, actually, while you're over the side, make me a perception check.
Oh boy, I can look. I can look forever.
You perfect. No, this is perfect. You are beginning to pull yourself up over the side. This is gonna be like pulling yourself up from prone, basically. And you, as you're kind of like looking over, you think you see another rock kind of crest the water. Only this rock is less. It seems a bit too formed. Almost as if like a statuesque hand is there, and a wave completely covers it and passes by, and it's gone.
I
And
think
then
I'm
you'll see
seeing
another in the
things.
distance, and another,
Okay.
and you can start to see kind of the horizon looks very handsy.
Oh, ooh, no
Don't,
consent.
don't like that.
Hold up.
Bad touch.
But it is your turn.
Well, I pulled myself up like, oh gods. Oh, pretty sure I'm seeing shit.
The captain is gonna call. Don't worry, we just keep following the seagull. It hasn't let me down yet. It means we can make it through the storm.
I can't see your damn goal. And
You
I'm
just
just gonna
got to trust.
try to shoot for the Suigan Sassy over there.
That guy. You want to roll again and get another 11?
Ah!
You just can't roll anything above a 12.
Get
go! Hey!
Feast or famine. Feast or famine.
Apparently, holy
where do
butt
you
cheeks.
hit this guy to take him out?
Like at first, like, just getting my bearings from the salt water, just crusting all over myself. Just and gets in my eyes. I shoot just right in his thigh meat, and just takes out the thigh meat.
It just you catch his leg spinning through the air, cutting a bit too deeply, like basically disconnecting, and his momentum taking him as another wave crashes into the side and pulls him into the sea. Though oddly enough, it seems like a bit of the rail there is also gone with the water, as if something has actually physically grabbed him.
And what the hell's in that potion? Am I drugged? Am I seeing things?
It's just a bunch of electrolytes, so hopefully not.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you put a bunch of mercury in there or something.
Oops.
Shit,
Or
I mixed up my stuff.
It's the black broth.
Some men just can't hold their arsenic.
There you
I
go.
just- You can have a little cyanide as a treat.
They had it coming.
End of your turn, and Tango's aside, a
You said
massive wave starts to form up in front of you. These sailors here, this guy is gone. Sorry, I gotta mark him as lost to the sea. This sailor is going to try and get in. The other three are going to start trying to plug this hole just in time. Thankfully, having some resources on hand while Megatherio has this handled. Don't worry. but you're going to see a massive wave start to form as the old man kind of gets behind, and right in between Isadora and the captain, and he kind of looks out the sails with a determined look in his eye, and kind of like nods. We'll make it! Just keep us straight through the wave! And he opens the bag and just winds escape, carrying you, basically rocketing now as the sails barely hold on, filling beyond their fill. You can see the edges of them begin to tilt. Yeah, if you are holding onto the ropes, you are basically having to grip everyone sliding back at least like 5 feet. The guy on the scorpion basically holding on, and just move everyone back here.
Is that a whole scorpion?
Well, the scorpion is a small ballista. Fun fact, you can get more of this campaign. Everyone below deck. This shark is actually going to be slightly pushed out of the way. Megatherio, thankfully, but the large shark and Swagan do kind of close you off a bit. As the ship pitches onward and begins moving upward, this giant wave. Isadora, your turn. What are you doing?
Oh god. Okay.
You're going uphill.
We're
It's
going
raining
uphill.
sideways.
That's a great question. Is anyone on deck looking particularly bad? How are you? How are you doing? Okay, yeah.
He's holding on to the
Bonus
ropes,
action,
guts
bonus
dangling out
action,
of
healing word that real fast. We'll just do second level. Let me just roll.
Put your guts back where they belong.
Okay, so that's a 4 maximum there.
Plus your mod, right?
Yeah, so that would be 8. I don't know why I didn't add that. Your artificer things, I don't know. This is my first time playing an artificer. And then, are any of like the ties to the sails still like kind of loose?
Yes, these rigging are very much still loose, and as well as these are still, like, they're let down and not completely flying wildly, but they're definitely not, like, getting the full force of this wind blast from this old man.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can. We should be able to make it here. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna make it down there.
Up there, actually.
Or up there, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Just kind of give like an emotional like support pat on the back to Lazarus, and then secure the sail.
I'm never drinking anything you ever make ever again. Holy balls.
Okay, well that's my turn.
Well, Megatherio, you got a few sharks on you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem, but we're gonna get out of it. It's like, I've had enough of these games. Tis time to end this one way or t'other. And he'll begin to cast the Arms of Hadar. Bam!
Well, what is
Both the baddies within 10 feet of me need to make strength saves, and your big shark boy has disadvantage on those.
He does, which is very convenient because he rolled.
I thought ahead.
He rolled a 20 and a 12, so that is a failure on his part. And Swagan is rolled a 14, and I'll use my plus. Oh, no, I used my plus 2 already. He rolled a 14, didn't make it.
Ha 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 ha! Both of those numbers are less than 15. You fell into my cunning trap. So they both take 10 necrotic damage, and your shark boy takes another d6 of necrotic, another 4 necrotic damage on top of that.
All right.
and neither of them can make opportunity attacks or take reactions. So I'm just gonna boop boop boop, slip out of there. See ya. Pick up my octopus pal.
As you push your hands down, the tentacles erupting around you and just battering the shark and Swagan. The shark is now fully pushed from the side of the boat as it loses all consciousness. Swagan quickly, nearly following after. Thankfully, the second shark corpse does fill it. But for a moment, it seems you have peace. Which means they don't get a turn. Stetus. You are climbing this. Wall of water, when you start to see weird hand-shaped rocks start to break the wave, coming toward the boat.
What are those?
That's not good.
You're barely able to make it out. Just keep holding on! Follow the bird! Follows hasn't let me down yet!
I will try and tie down the ropes that are swinging around.
Alright, make me that acrobatics check with a full action, so it'll be lower DC, if you like, or a bonus.
My guts are inside me. A 25.
25, you're able to pull the ropes down, quickly tie them off, and get a good grip on yourself, even managing with a 25 to get yourself tied down, so you don't go flying anywhere, if you want.
I would like to make my way across the ship to try the other side.
Sure, yeah. Isadora has a fairly good handle on it, but between the two of you, the DC will definitely be lowered.
Alright. I will head over there. You want a bonus action tie down with the higher DC, or do you want me to just...
A bonus action.
I spent my action tying that one down, so should I have made a check? Like bonus
That one
action
wasn't
really worked.
as wild.
Oh, okay.
So I would say it's tied down, and I think between the two of you, if you wanted to like secure, you can use your turn bonus action to like, if you wanted to like make secure knots for like both of you, or you know, anything else.
I'll do that while I'll say,
Yeah.
appreciate the kind word.
No problem. Anytime. Immediately go start tying this bowl in.
Hunter Shark is gone. Celine, you're up. More hands.
I try shooting one of the hands, like this one out here, and see
Sure.
what happens.
Yeah, take a shot.
14.
You send that arrow, and it just clings off. Or no, better yet, it sinks in, but doesn't seem to stop the hand at all. Like it hasn't even registered. It looks like, but now it's synced in. It's like not so much stone as it is almost like hardened root and gnarled flesh, all coming together. Anything else you'd like to try?
I have this cantrip. I'm gonna try Firebolt.
Sure.
$22 to hit.
That will connect.
Okay, and it does
Jeez, guys.
17.
Ow, okay, yeah, that will splash across its hand. As, you know, it kind of almost like seems to recoil as if like you shot something in the face. Kind of collapsing in on itself. As if, you know, something stung your hand. You kind of naturally, reflexively pull it in. But if that's your turn,
Yep, that is.
Lazarus, as that hand recoils, yet more join it.
Why? Why is this the sea of hands? Oh god,
Really
there's so many
handsy.
hands.
It was the Sea of Thieves, but now it's...
Oh,
Yeah. No, heck got it. This is the hands.
fancy.
I did say the horizon looked handsy.
Oh my god, why are there so many hands?
They are increasingly gumming up around you and like slowly beginning to move towards the ship.
Captain!
What?
There's like 1,000 hands.
I'm
coming
aware.
for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to do something. Is I'm just gonna like let loose an arrow for this one over here.
He is. You can see he's like trying to keep as straight course as possible to break through the top of this high wave. As again, you are being blown basically uphill, both ways. And he is avoiding these for the most part as his action. It's you don't get all to die immediately.
Oh, good. Immediate death is less preferred.
19 will hit though.
All right, so I'm gonna blow it up. My other arrow for bursting and just kablamo.
Yeah, that's going to.
Blammo. 22 damage.
It blows, and you see the hand kind of move and finger around. There does seem to be a bit of a dent, and the others kind of experience the same magical force, but it does not seem utterly deterred.
Okay, well, seeing that like it's clenching, just hopefully so they don't grab, I'm gonna shoot at this one too.
Mm-hmm.
Just hopefully, nope, sure don't.
That one's gonna sink and not seem to make any impact on it.
That's my turn.
Okay. And with that, you begin to hit the crest of the wave. The top of your ship breaks, and you expect, finally, we'll get to move down. Finally. Why aren't we going down? As you feel the weight of the ship suspended in the air, and as the wave subsides, a mass of hands, large stony hands, grip the ship, filling the sailors down there. The hole is just filled with a finger as if a handhold, and grabs another and another and another 100 hands, maybe even more, completely encapsulate all around you. And for a moment you don't quite understand what this thing is. How could you? And then, as if clapping, the ship splinters underneath its grip. I'm gonna need everyone, as you're all released from your ship onto the deep sea, make me con saves.
Oh my god!
no.
Hey!
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna use my +2 for this and make it a 12. I don't think it's gonna help that much, but you know what?
I picked a
At least
terrible
I tied
day
it up
to stop
Olin.
drinking on the job.
You shouldn't have had that drink.
1 second, collecting these down real fast.
And then I'm gonna take my +2 that purple gaming.
Perfect.
16.
All right. You all hit the water with force, and for a moment, there is nothing. Just the sound of water churning through you, and for a moment, that feels like that's all there is, as your visions all collectively, from the force of the impact, basically, you black out one after the other. You're not actually sure how long you're like this, but Lazaros, you are the first to awaken. The feeling, you expect to be covered in ocean water, but in fact there's really nothing there at all.
Shit, fake.
No.
Oh shit.
You feel a soft lapping of water on your back, and the taste of salt fills your mouth, and just trying to spit it out, you find it's only filled with yet more sand.
Oh, I'm face deep in sand, huh?
Well, wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
Am I like head deep, like ostrich level?
No, like castaway. Like your face has been like in the sand, and the water is like been slowly pulling the sand away and filling it back in. And
Thanks, C. And I'm just, yeah. And I'm just gonna just like leery eye, like, you know, if you ever like open your eyes in a pool and your eyes are just like stinging from the sheer amount of chlorine,
Mm-hmm.
just like looking around like I want to dig my eyeballs out because they burn. Just looking around, do I see anyone or
You
anything?
see a lot, actually. The beach itself is, from what you can tell, beautiful. The sand is clean and near sparkling white. The water clear, calm, calmly just lapping along, and a bit in front of you, you can even see the beginnings of a forest and grass. But around you is signs of destruction and shipwreck, pieces and splinters, and a few bodies also litter them. You can recognize a few as your crew. They're not at the moment moving, but you can't quite make it out. But you also do see another form. Seems to be a humanoid looking form approaching you. It's a bit too blurry at the moment to quite see what it is, but you do hear, we have a live one! Quick, get the others, we have another live one!
And like I'm gonna like reach for my bow, but it's like not there. It's like,
No, totally not there.
Shit. And like I'm gonna reach for my scabbard, like she's not there. Fuck. Got like nothing on me, just panic.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else by me?
That's a good question. Stetus, you come to in similar circumstances, washed up on shore.
I will turn and spit the sand out of my mouth and look over at Lazarus and say, what?
Get up.
Slowly stand up and turn around and look around. Well, lift a hand to wave.
At the encroaching form or Lazarus?
The encroaching form.
All right, yeah, it's going to like wave back. Hold on, I'm coming, and you see it picks up its pace towards you.
You just need to be friendly to people, Lazarus. I mean,
Yeah, well, we don't know what in the hell's this thing is, or who or where.
it's a blurry figure. It'll clarify soon.
Well, I know you're used to seeing blurry figures, but I'm not.
What time is it, Lazarus? What time is it right now?
What time is it right now?
It's about like by the direction of the sun, and it's about like a little before noon.
See? It's too early. Still on the clock.
I have no idea how long we've been out for, and I know you haven't had enough to drink. You've had too much to drink. I don't know what it is with you, but you haven't had the right amount.
The figure is going to approach you guys at this point, and the blurriness and sand kind of finally getting out of your eyes. You're going to see it kneel down. A male's face, young, a few scars here and there, a bit of a tuft of beard at the end of his chin. Couldn't be much older than a young man. And he looks down at you. Oh, thank goodness! I thought I'd lose you guys to the oh god, what's the word for it? The drag, the water drag, as you would say in your tongue. Riptide, that's the word they taught me. And he stands back up to full form, and instead of normal human legs, he is sporting what looks to be sheep feet. And you do indeed see horns on top of his head.
Okay, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% positive whatever the shit she gave me just had all drugs. Every known hallucinogenic drug known.
He's not
There's
blurry,
no way.
he's furry.
Okay, well, there's an issue because
more
I
of a
must be
woolen
like, I must have died. I don't know where that.
It's a nice curl. Yeah.
Thank you. You're not dead. It's very good. You're not dead. Are there more of you? And actually, at this point, Megatherio, you are awakened in a similar state, though I won't tell you exactly where you have to be, but you're nearby.
First thing he's going to do is kind of, the and then roll over and start searching in the sand, and you'll just see pull out a small red that will just work its way around these little tentacles, and he'll begin to crawl towards the rock pools.
Question, really quick. Your octopus buddy, is he a pact boon?
Yes.
With your dark sea god?
Mm-hmm.
As you're beginning to crawl into the sand and you feel the suction on the side, it's starting to feel like that magic there is a little weaker than it used to be. Like, it's trying. It's really like your buddy's persisting, but it's like weaker than you would understand it. Like, his presence is not fully compatible with this area.
The sea giveth, and the sea taketh away. Not today.
And the figure is going to turn. Oh, look, another one of you. You're popping off the shore a whole lot more these days than you usually do.
How many of us did you find before us?
A whole bunch. I mean, it depends.
Did you
days
find
it's
the captain?
Oh, which captain? We've been pulling a lot of captains out of the water lately.
And do I see the captain's body anywhere?
Super gone.
I'll give a description of his charming looks. Because that's about all I really had to go off of.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't really. If he wasn't with you, I'm afraid.
Manistokos? No.
The name sounds familiar, but it's kind of a lot of names here sound the same. It's all got that flair.
Shit.
You want to maybe get out of the sand? We have your people have a place you are making here. Just, nice place to stay. Pray to the Titans,
The what?
Yeah, what?
Oh, I forget. Sorry.
Is that the weird fucking hand things that came out of the sea?
So you also read into Kentamane, the father of this land.
Okay, well, could you ask him not to be such a dick?
You must understand, he loves his wife.
What? What does that have to... What?
It's just you're standing on her. We all love our mother, Thylea.
Right.
And he's just very protective.
He couldn't have, he sent a message like, hey, don't do this, instead of he just chucks us.
It's not our place to know why Kentamane does what Kentamane does. He simply is. He's very scary. I'll tell you that. His hands are always popping up and sitting there.
I think I'd rather try to find my other crewmates first.
Speaking of other crewmates, Celine,
Yes.
you're now awake.
Okay. Yeah, she just is basically on her back, suntanning at this point. Just not wanting to get up. And it's just like, if I get up, it's going to be bad. I hear yelling. I know this is bad. And then eventually, when people start looking, she kind of,
We'll say Isadora will be close enough to you to be able to spot your body as you come to. Isadora, you're also now coming to, and you see Celine just splayed out on the sand, catching rays and being drowned, and unfortunately very similar.
All right, no. We almost did that once. I'm just dragging Celine. No. We're gonna go.
Yeah, can you drag me a little to the left? Thanks.
Okay. I think we should find the others, though.
I hear them. They seem fine.
Lazarus is upset again.
Are you sure you'd be? How are you not upset right now?
I'm alive. We have a captain to find. What's there to be upset about? What's being upset gonna solve?
I don't know. Maybe it'll make me feel better in a little bit. I'm just. Yeah.
You've been through a lot. We have healers back at the at your little settlement.
Do they have ale?
Oh, ale. They mentioned it. The barley and stuff. Yeah, they've started.
Yes.
They've started growing. The season hasn't hit yet. We have wine. Oh, we have fantastic wines, fresh from the heartlands.
Oh, we aren't that fancy though.
Oh no, this is what I love so much about you, shipwreck people.
You keep saying our people. What do you mean our people?
Oh, you know, dwarves and elves and humans. Never get that second word right.
How
It's close
often
enough.
has this been happening?
Oh, last few weeks, a whole bunch. Made a good business out of it. I can sell you guys all this stuff. I'm sorry. I have the opportunity to trade with a unique community of people who are recovering from an economic situation.
It's quite a fancy silver tongue of words you got there.
And so you have to make a living here. Now, I can escort you back, show you to a good place to stay if you need rooms. And wine. Mostly wine.
So, you know what we are? And he'll like point to the, hooves and the not so humany legs.
You can't just point at people's hooves.
Wait, hold up. Really? Because look at, I can actually do it weird.
You're not supposed to.
Don't worry.
Were you raised in a barn?
No one's tried to. No one's tried
You
to.
can't
stop
ask
me
people
yet.
that have goat legs.
Oh my God, Karen! You can't just ask people why they have goat legs.
Tell you what. Why don't I answer a whole lot more of your questions and more once we get back to camp? As someone who's actually trained in that kind of thing can translate for you. For the moment, well, welcome to Thylea.
Great.
Thylea.
Thylea.
Where's the wine?
And he'll stand up and kind of grab both your shoulders, and then puts his hand on your cheek. I'm going to like you. And smacks it. And, come on, I'll show you the way.
We follow.
And you guys will move on, except for Megatheris, who I assume is going to be a bit busy in the tide pools here, refreshing himself, and hopefully be able to renew whatever connection he has with his dark deity. But for the moment, this is just the beginning. As you join the fellow settler races in what can only be described as a shanty town in a land you don't know, finding your magics and healing has failed. You are here to, with clearly no way of escape, and being informed that many have tried and failed. There's only one way to go, and that's forward, and making a new life here. And with that, we're gonna call it. And I can once again, hopefully, welcome you all to the land of Thylea and Oathsworn. So yeah, that was a really quick kind of my take on prologue intro stuff for how a bunch of the settler races crash landed into Thylea, bereft of all resources and struggling to make a new life in a land they were trapped in. And we're gonna find out next time how that all panned out and if these heroes can save it. Not these heroes. These guys are probably all dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a time jump, natural reasons. Okay, maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we will be joining with a new cast of characters as we meet a fresh band. And let me put you guys on the big map so you can all drink in.
Oh, there's a bird on there.
There's a
Whoa,
big
whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, it takes up about the entirety of a large city, so watch out for that bird.
Yes.
Bird.
As the geography and politics of the land will change with time, and our heroes will take it on with fresh step and vigor, and hopefully a good bit of luck and audience assistance. But that's enough out of me. I'm going to throw it over to all of my wonderful people here. Same order as last time. Let the awesome people know where they can find you, who you were playing tonight, and who you are, except maybe in a better order than what I said. Let's kick it off with Comrade.
Hey, I was Comrade. I played Celine the Ranger. Next time I'll play something different. Ooh. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter mostly at Comrade Crash, and excited to be here.
I mean, do you want to give a quick intro to your character? Quick little who they are, what's their class and race and all that?
Sure. Yeah. For the main campaign, I'll be playing Leo Dragos. What was he? Ooh.
Oh no!
Oath of the Dragonlords
really
Paladin.
attached to Celine.
Oath of the Dragonlords Paladin. Yes. That's what I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted. Human. And below me is Sir Heck.
Hey guys, it's me, Sir Hecklot. I've played Isadora Antonia, the High Elf Artificer. Though next time you're going to see me as Calliope, the Siren Bard of Epic Poetry. So it's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. I was learning dactylic hexameter, or writing that in English to do this entire time. It's very difficult, but we're doing it. But yeah, you can find me on all the social medias at Sir Hecklot. So Twitch and Twitter and Instagram, as well as Itch. I have some games and stuff that you can look at and maybe download if you want, please. As well as our lovely Discord that you should definitely join. Where you're going to see me next is actually in 2 days for Tyranny of Dragons, our Queen's Gambit campaign. So definitely check that out. We're still in Waterdeep and shit's about to get crazy. You can also see me in 2 campaigns over at Neon Lights Roleplay every other week. And that's pretty much it for now, until October. So yeah, let's keep on keeping on to HP.
I am the Last Hit Point Hero, and tonight I played Stetus, the Dwarven Monk, who definitely does not drink on the job, no matter what kind of vile things might be thrown at him by Lazorus. I will be playing in the main campaign Thrynos, the Siren Demigod Sorcerer. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. On this Friday, I will be DMing Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, our Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. It is coming to a close in just a few weeks. It has been going wonderfully, so don't miss that. And then coming up at the end of September, we will be starting our Stargate campaign. So I will be running an interweaving good guys and bad guys Stargate campaign using the new rule set for the TTRPG, which just recently finished its Kickstarter, and the hard copy will be available at Gen Con. So I think that, I don't remember the explanation point for Cold Hands either. It's in there somewhere.
We are struggling.
It's Friday.
Hold on.
The code for this is not Oathsworn.
It's not Oathsworn.
It should be.
But as long as it's not oats cold, I
I thought it was just cold.
I thought so too. Hold on. I'll figure it out while you guys are doing your outro.
It's cold hands.
Oh, it's called hands.
Um,
That's why.
So, that is what is going on with me, sending it over to the one and only Tony Stephens.
Hello, I am Tony. I played just the angry Lazarus today. However, you'll find an even more angrier person, probably in the background, playing the High Elf Prophecy Cleric, Eliano Legide, who is going to have issues. Just issues. It's gonna be fine. Everything's always fine. I don't think
vision.
I have anything.
Not.
I got the plausible finale next week of Harper's because Dark Echoes is off this Saturday. Which means other happenings for me. But I think that's it until the 21st when we kick this off with Chrissy joining us. But for now, I'll put it up top for Al. The Befair.
Yay! Yay!
There we
So
go.
enthusiastic. There we go. There.
Alabama, playing Megaletherio, the bizarre, tentacle-loving human warlock of Fathomless. Which, yeah, who knew? Lots of wacky cartoon time. So there you go. Well, next exciting installment. There'll be 100% less tentacles and 100% more different unusual body extremities as I take on the role of Ponos, the satyr Odyssean bar. What am I? Rogue. I'm a rogue. The Odyssean rogue. Nailed it. Very good with the remembering of stuff that I am and do, which is probably just as well that I don't have an awful lot on. It's what it is. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be silly, outrageous. There's gonna be laughter and tears, and then more laughter, and then more tears, and then more laughter, and then.
Well, with
More
that, and probably more tears and laughter. Comedy and tragedy.
Well,
We're gonna try. Oh, well, I'll try. Anyway, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Chrissy's character. It's of course Chrissy Crits, and she's gonna be playing Dipfria Adamos, a Medusa warlock of the Fates, and I'll just be here trying to hold on to as many of the reins as possible as we crash our way literally into the Heartlands and the Sour Vintage. And it'll be a whole lot of fun. For more of me, of course, Dark Echoes is on a break this Saturday. I won't be in this next episode of Harper's, but I will be there as much as I can to support, and you should too, especially because it's near finale time. And then on the 19th, remind me, do we have Only War on the 19th?
We do.
We do. We have
Finale.
another finale in his divine name, Only War campaign over on Neon Lights Roleplay. We are trying to get off the planet of killer bugs and get our way back to maybe not death. We're going to try. But also, that night, I have another one-shot, which is going to be a murder mystery jam. And it involves jam, and it's a murder mystery, apparently. I don't know, it's really fun. It's going to be run by, of course, Dr. Tyrant, and it'll be super cool. And then Tuesday, we're going to be right here, blowing up your screen with all the cool Greek mythos, epic D&D action, and then Barge of Rain epilogue on the 25th. So get locked in for that. And then Aliens on the 29th. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whole lot of stuff towards the end of the month. Could be very busy. But with that, never get to close these out. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you all have a absolutely wonderful night. Definitely check in with our Discord. Keep it locked on all of our social medias because there'll be plenty more coming in. This is just the start. This is just the prequel. And damn, it's gonna be a good time. And remember, even the gods are bound by fate and prophecy. Good night. Oh, we're waving. Sorry, wait.
Oh wait, I have to hit the button.
Right.